Test it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the GDQ Hotfix. In following up the run we had last, 5 minutes ago with low percent, we're going to follow it up with some Alien Isolation low percent. But before we get into that, just a few quick reminders for you all. Back to Black 2025, the upgrade to UBAF will be live February 6th through 9th here on the GDQ Twitch channel, benefiting Race Forward. You can catch the action and support an incredible cause. You can type !BTB in chat to see the event schedule. And if you want to find out more about the all-black speedrunning community, type !BAF in Twitch chat. Also, if you're crafty, prize submissions are open from now until February 1st. Also, if you would like to support the GDQ Hotfix, you can check out the Season 4 shirt over at theyeti.com/GDQ. With all of that said, like I said, Alien Isolation, low percent. I will hand it over to our runner commentary here. Let everybody introduce themselves.
Well, hey guys, I'm Drex. I like scary games and trying to play them fast. But that's the lesson for me. I learned, so this is, we categorized this. More importantly, though, I'm joined by my three friends who are here to guarantee that this is entertaining, despite my skill issue. Take it away, friends.
Hey, who wants to go first?
I was thinking just the same thing.
I'll take it. Why not? Hi, I'm Nico Hart. I'm also a runner of this game as well. Mostly do no major glitches and play this game in very many weird controllers as well.
My name is Zeb, or Explosive Bullets. I hold the any percent world record and the all missions no CC world records. I have experience in low percent and will be helping Drex out with the run if he needs any help.
Hey, I am James. I am also an NMG runner, no major glitches runner. Predominantly, I run the 100% category, and I hold the 100% world record for a lot of them, really. I've done a bit too much 100%. But yeah, likewise, I've run plenty of low percent of my time. I'm here to help out as well.
And a very important thing I want to say about all of my friends here is they are all way past their bedtime out in Europe. They are staying up late here to join me today. So that really means a ton, and huge shout outs to them. They are legends for doing this. But yeah, so Alien, so we are running today Nightmare, no major glitches, low percent. So a quick overview of the category. Nightmare mode is the hardest difficulty. Here, Incubo on my thing. It actually gives you a warning when you're about to start the game, like watch out, this is hard. And then no major glitches is a bit of an up in the air what counts as a major glitch, but basically we're playing the game as intended as possible while as fast as possible. And then low percent means I can't pick up any items that the game does not force me to pick up to continue the quest line. So it's a bit of a chaotic one, a lot of randomness that we depend on, but without further ado, I figure we jump into it. What do you guys think?
Sounds good to me. Yeah. Good luck, Trey.
Yep, sounds good.
All right, sweet.
Good luck.
We're going to start by skipping some cutscenes here, and the timer will start once we open our eyes. I will try to count down for it. We'll see. It'll prove how rusty I am or not. I'm going to guess about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was just a second late. That was pretty good, though. I'm okay with that.
This will be us after the run anyway.
Yeah, right.
We're very
if you
tired.
guys like to share what's going on here, I'm happy to, but mission 1.
I'm sure you're fine with taking it away. You've done it many times
Sure,
before.
why not? So already step 1, I cannot grab the box. It isn't so much my muscle memory to grab because there's loot in there, and we're not doing any looting. It hurts every time, makes me wince. But most importantly, first unskippable objective number 1 in the game is getting dressed. I always like to say it's a bummer this is an objective because I'm certain that if you could run naked, it would make you so much more aerodynamic. We'd probably save, an hour on this run.
Weirdly enough, you can actually delay getting changed, but the game, it does force you to get changed eventually.
Yeah, there is
special dialogue, yeah. Because the NPCs that we're about to speak to, who are mandatory. So what we're doing here is we're starting the dialogue, instantly cancelling it by going out of range, and then we're just going to kind of stare him down. Eventually he'll change his animation, and that means that we've skipped a bunch of dialogue, saving us a ton of time.
Yeah, it's about 8 seconds.
Dialogue if you don't get dressed. And they'll say, you really should get dressed,
Mm-hmm. Just as true to real life, yeah.
Yeah.
Non l'ho vista. Vado a vedere.
All right, listening for those dialogue cues there.
Yeah, which...
Turbata is the word I was going for. I actually still don't know what it translates to, I'm realizing, as I'm saying this. But that's the magic word. Taylor's a bit different. She doesn't twitch or anything, so we are just going to walk to a set known spot on the floor here.
Yes, this is quite a recent lineup that we found. We were doing a previous lineup of the door, like you'll see it in old runs. Well, not even old runs, you'll still see runners do it, but there are two ways we can skip the Taylor dialogue, and the Taylor dialogue is very long, so we save a lot of time by skipping it.
I think the entire mission would be like, it saves like a minute and a half, right?
Oh, damn.
Easily, if not more.
I still do the old
so
strap
much
myself.
I mean, we're only 3 seconds difference on old dialogue skip strat. But yeah, thankfully, dialogue skip is one of the allowed no major glitches, or loud non-major glitch. It is not a major
Minor
glitch,
glitches,
that's
yeah.
per popular. Yeah.
One of the big reasons as to why we call it no major glitches as well is because the game just bugs out a lot in general. Like, if you try and do a glitchless run of this game, there's a very, very high chance that the game will just throw a glitch at you, and it'll be like, well, okay. And so...
And especially if you don't cap the frame rate as well, like you'll just get a lot of fun, because obviously this game was made well before like most of the current GPUs, like, you know, can boast a lot of FPS, for example. So if you don't cap it, you'll probably go somewhere over like to the 400-500 FPS, and you'll just start floating everywhere. That's a glitch.
Yeah, the game is really, really not designed for these high frame rates. And so as a community, we have generally decided to cap the frame rate at 275 FPS, because that's roughly as high as it can go before you just start getting all sorts of weird stuff going on. But we're done with mission 1.
The fun thing is
mission 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, mission 2. I'm already too locked in, which is maybe a good sign. Alright, the fun thing is you're not required to cap at 275 either, so my personal choice is 200 for this category, or if you're doing a one of the glitchier categories, sometimes in that 120 to 140 range allows you to get a couple clips.
Yeah.
Which is also a very cool quirk, that there's so much physics of the physics engine depends on your FPS.
We should probably talk a little bit like about the story side of things, like what's just gone on, because obviously we woke up. We're like Amanda Ripley. So if you've seen the movies, you know that you've got the main mother Ripley in the movies, and this is the daughter Amanda Ripley. They woke up out of hypersleep on a voyage over to Sevastopol to find a black box that may contain some information where her mother is, but obviously that doesn't go too well. And in the cutscene that was skipped, all three of the people, so it was like Taylor, Samuels, and Amanda, all try to go over to Sevastopol, and loads of asteroids and meteorites like just pepper the line, like cut it, and they all go flying, like, you know, spinning around in circles. It's a fun ride, and then they land on Sevastopol, so everything's fine, right?
Surely.
In theory, yeah.
Go wrong.
Yeah, nothing could go
So
wrong. Yeah.
interject a little bit right here. Something important just happened, and it's not how much it hurts me to not grab this flare that's always there. But we just fell. So yeah, as much as it hurts me to hurt this flare, to not grab that flare, it hurts Amanda more to fall. It does damage to us. Now, if you may notice, a funny quirk about Nightmare Mode is I have no heads-up display. There is no health bar on my screen. So how do speedrunners know how much health they have? Well, there are two ways to know for sure, which is if you try to heal and cannot heal, then you're at full health. Or if you are dead, that usually means you're at 0 health.
Usually.
Funny, you know.
Usually.
In theory, yeah. And so other than those guaranteed methods, if we want to know what we're at, which for low percent, since we aren't allowed to heal because we can't get the items necessary to heal, we just have to count. So we try to memorize how much damage various events in the game do to us, and we'll have to do the math on the spot how much health we'll have left. So that fall does 280 damage out of our full 1,000. I will tend to say 28 damage out of habit of talking percentages, but yeah, just 28% of our health. So we're left at 72. And in theory, I'll do stuff like crouch around that wire to stay at 72 for as long as possible. Until I have another scripted moment where I'm forced to lose health coming up at the end of mission 6. But
Yeah.
The reason we have to think so much about our health as well is because we're playing low percent, we can't heal. Healing involves picking up things that aren't essential, and so it means any damage we take is just permanent. It means that we really, really want to avoid taking damage as much as possible until really we have to take damage later on.
Yeah,
So the chat.
unfortunately,
Sorry.
unfortunately, there are no mandatory med kits that we have to pick up, so we are stuck. Like, if you take no damage from now, so we're in mission 2, we take mandatory damage all the way up until mission 6. Past mission 6, we have no more, basically, mandatory damage that we need to take. So we'll be at 42% health, roughly, after mission 6 going into mission 7, and then that's like the magic number of what we work with after mission 6. So it's important to know about how much damage different things do. So like an android punch, for example, an android grab. I don't really know the numbers off the top of my head at the moment. There's a big spreadsheet with all the numbers.
I do, and that's good enough.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into more of those enemies as and when we see them, because we will be seeing plenty of enemies in the future.
That was a good Axel, by the way.
That was a fantastic Axel.
Wow.
Yes.
So
there's a bit of randomness up there with Axel running across. You guys are welcome to explain it while I grab, but we got to make sure to call out. Listen for Jonesy. I think. No, unfortunately, no. We did not get the Jonesy Easter egg.
Womp
today.
womp.
Yeah, so the NPC we saw there is called Axel, and he'll be just, well,
We love him.
you might be able to see him a couple more times, but he is a source of frustration for speedrunners. For one main reason, he is very slow. And
I don't know
when
what
we
you're
mean
talking
very
about.
slow, we're not just meaning, oh yeah, fine, we can lose like 10, 15 seconds to him. No, we're going to be seeing him a lot. And there's a source of celebration later on, which I won't spoil in case you haven't seen the game.
There's a bit of randomness with him as well, where sometimes he just randomly decides to be slower, which costs us more time. And so that scene up there, he sometimes will be very slow to actually do that run across, and that's what we were looking for. Now, my look off the bottom left like I did is probably placebo, but it makes me feel like it makes him fast more often, so I tend to do
It
it.
most definitely is placebo.
Yeah. We have our first mandatory item here as well, which is the maintenance jack. This is not skippable. You need it to progress the game. And it's a really useful one as well, because this is our first weapon. It gives us some way of defending ourselves, even if it's not the most effective.
Well, actually, I'd argue it's quite effective considering some of the strategies coming up.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Absent of revolver ammo, you don't run out of maintenance jack ammo. Thank
That's
you.
true. That's
People
true.
working things.
Yeah, so the maintenance jack has a lot of good uses. It can make noise and it can kill Jeremy, which is very nice. All
Jeremy's
the
a
humans
self-inflicted
have
later.
names. We've named them, and there are some which we do not like very much. They like to get in our way a lot.
They tend to be the run killers for sure. I'll disclose that already. Mission 7 is a notorious run killer across almost all of the categories.
Yep.
So, especially low percent, that one should be a bit interesting. But it's where some of the passionate feelings about some of the NPCs really start to shine.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like a lot of the NPCs, they're reoccurring. So the one NPC called Jeremy is in mission 7 and he's also in mission 10. So if you kill him in mission 7, he will show up again in mission 10. So
Yeah, I
it's
think
just
they reuse the models and hope we wouldn't play the game for thousands of hours and notice these things.
yeah, exactly.
Che cosa voleva dire?
So
To admit as well. I'm about to do something that is not currently
Oh, no.
accepted in No Major Glitches, but I'm going to do it until it is accepted because for all consistency's sake it should be. Which is a tiny little skip on this button. Which means you don't have to wait for Axel to walk into the elevator before you can press it.
It saves about 4
And
or
I
5
will
seconds.
take it to the
roughly.
grave that it should be allowed in No Major Glitches on basis of another glitch that's allowed.
anyway,
Yeah, I'm very, very
we
passionate
should
about my elevator button.
swiftly move on before any.
Oh no. Anyway.
Nobody
Let's
saw
keep
it, it's all
running
good.
before the mods notice.
So we're now in that part of the game where we have to deal with this person, and this is Axel. And he has essentially taken us at gunpoint and said, I want to go on your ship. You came here, which means that there was a ship somewhere. I want to get off of this place. Help me. I'm going to force you to help me. And so we're just having to have a little old walk with Axel, and walking's a bit slow. However, Axel decides to make it even slower somehow. So this is very much meant to be the tutorial of the game. And so you can see here there are little pop-ups on screen, and this is showing you how to crouch, how to peek, and really trying to teach you that, stealth is the intended way of
I
playing.
mean, unfortunately, it's in Italian. But
Yeah.
Like, speaking of, actually, like, Italian is fast, but French, I think, is faster by like 0.5 seconds or something like that, right?
It's a tiny
My
amount, yeah.
understanding-
it
I could
was,
be wrong
but then
on
we
this,
found a way to. Well, then we found a way to skip mission 10 dialogue, so it's basically the same time.
Yeah. In low percent, French is technically a tiny bit faster, but so many people have run in Italian for so long, it's kind of just become the standard.
Ah, well, there we go. So not even I knew. It was a time save, but for the French one.
There are so many parts of the game where we have to wait for certain NPCs' dialogues. This is a prime example where we are waiting behind Axel. He will temporarily pause, say some lines, and then the game will update, the mission will update, and we'll be able to progress. And it just so happens that Italian and French save about 30 seconds over English. And that's why we run it in Italian.
The
Yeah,
amount of
there's
Italian
a.
words I've started to recognize from this as well. Probably a pretty good language studying tool for any who are learning Italian or French.
You get out of here, Duolingo.
I'm gonna be honest. I've ran this game for hundreds of hours and I still don't know any words in Italian, so
I know.
I couldn't tell you.
I know non scapi, which means no running.
And Nola Vista and Turbata, and that's about it.
It's most of the Android lines, really.
Yeah, the important ones are when are humans angry? So here's our second required pickup, by the way. Maybe I'll lock in what's actually going on here. So this is a flashlight. Doesn't help us a lot, but we do use it for a couple lures. And if I get really lucky, I can get this trash can in the vent. It doesn't do anything, but it's a good omen for the run if we do.
The run is
quite.
blessed.
So the fun thing here that we have to do is literally just aim the flashlight at a vent, and at that point we can turn it off because it's activated Axel's like half a movement towards the vent to do the next trigger. So it's just a simple flash on, flash off, clap on, clap off, done.
Easy. Oh wait, no, I'm having a brain fart. I was going to do my safety save and I forgot. I do the safety save out of here. I was going to the wrong safety save. It's okay. I had no time lost right there. We're waiting for Axel. I had a realization that I totally forgot to fix when I restart my computer. I forgot to reset my keybinds. So I can't turn on my flashlight or use the motion tracker right now. I will need to change that at some point here.
Yeah,
You
for
can do that
sure.
on the break,
Like,
that's fine.
Looking ahead to the future, the motion tracker is very, very helpful.
yeah.
In fact, I think I'm just going to run through and try to grab those now. So that's a bit of a silly one for me, but let's see here if I can get the... I'm trying to translate the Italian as well. Oh, is that going to break my scroll? I hope that doesn't break my double binds. I might have just broken my double binds as well.
Yay!
So, we might just have to load up input.cfg and...
We're not even mission 3 and the chaos has already begun.
È così che tutti si spostano.
I mean, I guess in theory, just don't get grabbed and...
Just mash
Yeah,
really
don't-
hard.
yeah,
just get
So
good,
we
basically.
bind our mouse wheel to E because there are a lot of things where if we didn't do that, we would get arthritis very quickly.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
reason.
we can bypass some weirdness in this game where it likes to drop keyboard inputs at a much higher rate than it drops mouse inputs. So something like E for activate with the button mash. Yeah, setting scroll to that is very beneficial.
Just a reminder, make sure to save her.
Yes. Yeah. Let me not forget the safety save while I'm talking about my silly things.
Yeah, so we're
Okay, so
encountering
scroll
the first
for mouse
proper
still works,
section
so-
where we can actually die.
Yes,
And
this is
even
one of
though
the first
it's
reset
so
areas. And
rare.
even though it shouldn't happen, just because I'm trying to do a marathon run, it means that something's bound to go wrong as soon as I forget to save.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen? Exactly.
We do all of mission 2 again. Which
Oh, we
is,
don't want to do that.
yeah, we really don't want to do that. Not
Mission
the
2 is
tutorial
actually one of the
again.
longest missions in the game.
Yes, it's around
crazy.
16 minutes, I want to say.
Yeah.
No.
So So here we're just waiting for some dialogue, because the humans are currently going to investigate the generator, which means that we can sneak around. Those humans have revolvers, shotguns, all sorts of stuff that we don't really want to be at the other end of.
Yeah, shotguns are
Get ready
fine,
for
but
Axel.
revolvers.
Yeah, weirdly, so revolvers in this game deal a minimum of 40%, which is really bad considering that's all the health we have left later on in the game. Shotguns deal a maximum of 12, so yeah, not really sure why, but
Yeah,
That's
point blank
weirdly much
range
more
of shotgun
survivable.
from human is I think 12 and a half.
yeah, it's
Or
brutal damage.
125 if we do not percentages. I should just use percentages. I hate making it ambiguous, and then there I go making it ambiguous.
Fun fact as well is
Or
that
but if
we.
you're at a distance. Oh, go ahead, Nico. What's
I was
up?
going to say, fun fact is that we kind of did a little bit of a setup to try to warp Axel closer to so they can skip a bit of Axel walking around all the way. So we wanted to try to get Axel in walking through that big hallway. Then we go in, look at the door, turn around, and then he just spawns there. It's so handy.
It is. I had a habit of running past that without waiting for him, and then you have to basically stare at the door for about 10 seconds for Axel to update to get close enough to teleport. It's very goofy. It's kind of funny, but you're just looking at the door.
Oh, come on, Axel.
Of course, slow Axel there. Sometimes he runs instantly. Sometimes he actually runs forward, and you can get in front of him. Or sometimes he just does exactly that, which is stand exactly in the wrong spot. Now, if you notice that hole there, and you notice Axel's no longer here, a bit of a fun fact, the cutscene we just skipped is that Axel is now in that hole and probably being snacked on by one of the Xenomorphs.
Yay!
Okay, so the scroll there didn't work, so
Ah, boy.
I'll just deal with my scroll being silly until we take our first main break, and then I'll actually fix my config there.
Time for some good old sounds of keyboard mashing. We love it here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, this is one of the many trams which we have to wait for.
Yes, this is probably a key thing I'm doing as well. I just realized. A lot of times we're waiting for trams in this game. Most of the categories, it's a great opportunity to run around and loot some stuff. We're on
About that, yeah.
12%, so,
Yeah.
So about that. So we're just gonna do a lot of staring at the tram in this run, which honestly, it's kind of alright, kind of a good relaxation time.
Which is fine, honestly, because especially in missions like Mission 10, where the loot's out of the way, if you leave the general area, now I haven't really looked into this, but if you leave the general area of the tram, then it won't arrive until you come back.
Yeah, so the tram partially loads, but then the game always wants to make the tram appear as though it's arriving just as you get there. So it's one thing that's quite prevalent in 100% because we have to go way out of the way for things. But you have to actually try and race the tram and get back as quickly as possible so you don't lose time.
That is definitely one of the trade-offs of loot routes. So that is the nice thing with I'm liking low percent a lot so far as I'm learning it. And I may have started learning this run less than a week ago for the case of a fun showcase. But there's so many. I don't have any strats where I'm depending on what loot I got earlier. It's just you have the same loot every time, and I am very quickly loving that with all of the bad experiences I had. I shouldn't say bad experience, but all of my lost runs from No CC.
So here we're encountering our first problematic human, who's called Heidi. And Heidi, well, she doesn't really like us, as you've just seen. She tried to say bye-bye to us.
She's just a little
And she will continue to do that throughout the run. So Heidi is one of the more notorious humans that loves to cause issues, both in
Yes.
various strategies later on. And so here, what we need to do is we need to get around some humans. There are a ton of revolver humans, and they really don't seem happy with us. So we're doing a trick here called crouch hopping. And crouch hopping is a way of moving slightly faster than just regular crouching, but it's completely silent. And it's so useful
The nice
for
thing with
sneaking
Heidi as
around.
well is that during that animated shot there, she usually misses. She's supposed to miss, but sometimes the game bugs and she doesn't.
I've had so many hits from her. It's somewhat lethal, actually, especially in
Yeah,
Nightmare.
on low percent,
I'm
you'll very
surprised.
quickly know if you get hit.
I'm surprised you didn't crouch earlier to make sure you definitely didn't get hit, because that's one way to guarantee that you don't lose health if you just crouch earlier.
That was a moment right there of my scroll wheel no longer being bound.
Oh, no.
I'm like, I didn't hear the sound, but surely I didn't miss that. I saw the prompt, and then I realized, wait a second.
So we just picked up the revolver, which is over the key card, so we can't progress without the key card. So thankfully, we have a revolver now, which is very useful. We have 6 shots in the revolver, and we can't get any more until mission 14.
Yeah.
So that's
a very
6
good
shots.
Yeah, I totally didn't think about it. So that was a third required pickup. And yeah, thankfully it's required. We have something to work with for the next couple missions.
Yeah,
Not
so
a
we
lot,
know.
but it's something.
So we now have the wrench and the revolver, and there are some strats that we use which require revolver bullets, and some strats where we can save revolver bullets. So it's entirely up to what Drake's decide to do with how many revolver bullets we save and how many we use elsewhere, because strats will change depending on what you use in the moment. So if you use a strat earlier on where you use 2 revolver bullets, then you can't use a revolver bullet later on. It's kind of like the balancing act of where you use certain resources. So if you want to be risky, yeah, there's a trade-off to using resources earlier on and later on, because there's definitely times where if you want to be fast, you want to be using as much resources as you can. So yeah, it's just something to think about.
By the way, you might notice I'm doing those hacks pretty quickly. I know I'm a speed runner after all, but the trick is, I want to share the trick. Those symbols are always the same symbols. How to phrase it? There's a set of those 8 symbols. So it'll always be a selection of those 8 symbols. Those symbols don't change. And then the hack tool, that lower section, the place to enter them is always constant as well. So you always have the V, and then you always have the little hashy thing, and the E's always in that like 2, 3. So what we do with speedrunners is we memorize the locations of those and basically the symbols. And so we just take that top part and we just read it off and then go to where the hack is. That's
you memorize?
trick for the fast hacks. Well, I try to.
Yeah, it becomes like muscle memory. Like if you see a sequence of three symbols, it becomes muscle memory of like where to go in the sequence.
Oh yeah, so there's a little force cutscene there. I don't think so many of these things in the game we do enough times, I kind of forget like how
important they are. Yeah,
they really are.
And that's a pretty important cutscene for us as well, because it's really the game properly introducing our good old friend the alien, who we as speedrunners love to call Steve. Steve is a menace.
Yes, Steve is a hard name to not say. Once you get used to it, like it's always Steve's. Dude, there's so many Steves in this corridor. So I should probably explain what's going on here, or mention that what's about to go on here very well could be a reload a couple times. We're very RNG heavy, and I've got to be fast. I'm looking for the right pattern. You guys are welcome to explain. That looks like the good pattern though, so we can send it.
So when you arrive to this area, and especially if you run the stairs, because what's happening when you saw Drax run up the stairs is the humans were still there at the top. Like, and you're playing the game casually, the humans will be there and they'll say like, I don't want to go down there. So they'll be there when you come back, because we overrided the door and it's open. So when we run up the stairs, they'll hear us, and then we think that affects the pattern you get when they spawn downstairs with the alien. So Drax decided to run the stairs, and that had the chance of giving you a pretty unfortunate pattern, because it's all about pattern recognition in the game. Like there's a lot of things you need to be aware of. So when Drax was running along the balcony, he was looking down to the left to see where, and like the different positions of the humans and where Steve was. Because if he sees the position of one human, then he knows exactly what pattern it is and how to go about that. And that's pretty much a lot of what this game is pattern recognition and where stuff is and where the humans are and what you do with that information and how you play the game from there.
And in tandem with what Evie said there as well, is like the different game categories, like the level difficulty, actually do affect the pattern recognition that you have to theorize. So with Nightmare, like this, the AI of the NPCs and the xenomorph as well are always very static. There's like very rarely that it goes super awry. So that's why we know exactly what we're looking for in Nightmare, because usually it's very the same.
Keyword is usually.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah.
There's bound to be at least one of these missions. We're gonna get a really weird sequence one of these times.
Yeah, so like when you see videos about the alien being completely random, like unpredictable, like no, that's not really how it works in the speedrun. How it works in the speedrun is we memorize a few patterns at the start of a mission, and we act on those few patterns. We only need to remember a few patterns because that's all that can really happen at the start. Like, when you've played the game for a while, you will start to recognize a lot of the same things are happening on the first time you enter an area. So that becomes really manageable. So it's not, the alien isn't completely random. Like there's a mission 5, which is the mission after this, where the alien isn't even a threat because it's still in an animation spawning in, and we know that. So we can just run through the entire mission when a casual player would just be sitting scared and letting the alien settle in. Because once the alien settles into an area, there's a lot more variation which can occur. And that's a huge problem with low percent, because when you need to save like fuel, when you need to when a strat goes wrong, it really goes wrong, and you have to improv, and you're going to see a lot of that happen in this category especially. It's going to be a lot of improv.
Something I'd like to add to that as well is you'll notice this will come much more regularly in Mission 10 when we're really dealing with the alien, but we need him to, a lot of our strats involve him going up a very certain vent.
Yeah.
And that has to do again with where he's going to be when he's relative to what direction we're running. And that makes a pretty big difference on the effect it has on where we can continue running.
So fun fact there as well is that you saw Drex touch the back of that terminal there. Technically you should be doing 3 little mini games, but because of the distance of where the androids are to where you are at the point of that terminal, oh god, be careful.
Nice.
You can just skip it completely by touching the back of it. Easy.
Okay, so usually you could have just
So yeah, in regular gameplay, regular speedruns, we would want to use revolver.
We're gonna do this trick. Sorry to interrupt.
Nice one.
Hey, nice.
And so we're seeing the first usage of the revolver in a trick called a grab cancel. What a grab cancel is Working Joe will try and grab you. However, any damage dealt to it will interrupt the grab animation, meaning we don't take damage. And not taking damage, it's really important. But just earlier, we saw Dre save a bullet by just, instead of using it, just running around the androids. And saving that bullet now means we can spend it later, and very, very worth it.
It's better to lose time than use resources in this category.
Yes, definitely.
There's a lot of improv in this category. And exactly in the spirit of that, we're taking a safety save right here as well.
Good shouts.
Yeah, very good.
If this goes awry, which it might because I'm saying it, I will probably be loading from that save. But the idea is I can fake out both of the droids coming up such that they will not grab us. So first guy, I'm going to pull the revolver on, he'll back up, and then I can come down these stairs.
Some people call them...
also whip a right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Some people call that first android Michael Jackson because he has a tendency to moonwalk.
Androids are notorious when it comes to trying to grab you on Nightmare. Where they'll walk directly towards you, and then as soon as you're in range, ready to grab cancel, they will dart off in a random direction, and you'll just have to react to it.
The grab cancel itself is pretty forgiving. You have a pretty big window of time to hit it. It's pretty easy to hit because it's point blank range. The hard part is sometimes the androids are weird, and if you shoot before the grab cancel, then they still grab you anyway. So you lose a bullet and
the motion tracker here. You can see there's a beep on the motion tracker and something on there. And what we were doing there is we were waiting for the alien to go what we call out of range before we run again. The alien has a hearing range of, conveniently, exactly the range of the motion tracker when it comes to us running and using the wrench. So what this means is, while the alien is on our motion tracker, it can hear us run, it can hear us use the wrench, it can hear us do pretty much anything. And so we really, really need to be careful to stop running, because otherwise he's going to come down and try and chomp us. However, as soon as he's out of that range of the motion tracker, we can just run because he can't hear our running. And that's so critical for so many things in this run. You'll see us either walking in certain sections or doing a little trick called sprint bursting, which is where you just tap the sprint button every now and then. And all of that is to make sure that we don't drop the alien when we don't want him to drop, because we just don't have the resources to deal with him.
Especially in the early game, we don't have a flamethrower either, so it's very much you're supposed to be stealthy, but the alien is toned down just enough early game where we can still get away with some silly business anyway.
We are now in mission 5, so we're speeding through the game already. And this is the mission that a lot of people kind of think of as the introduction to speedrunning this game. This mission is terrifying in a casual playthrough. The alien is on top of you all the time, and it's so oppressive. However, as speedrunners, we've figured something out. And so what you'll see in a little bit is something rather different from what you'll likely see in a casual playthrough.
It's very stealthy, I promise. Maximum.
So they wanted this dramatic entrance for the alien, but that takes way too long. And by the time he finishes the dramatic entrance, we've already finished the mission. And we've already got out of the hearing range. It is a nice
caveat, though. Yeah, they do a really good job showing off that this is the mission that you're going to need to hide from this guy. So much so that it makes the mission quite easy for a speedrun. Now, again, I'll say that, and I'm bound to jinx it one of these times. But so far, so good.
Keep it
my
up.
desk, I think, is some form of plastic wood, so I'm knocking on my desk. I think it counts. Knock on plastic. Knock on plastic.
Wait, that's not real wood.
I did a cool little trick right there as well. Little peek while I fell. It stops the stagger of the fall. Very minor thing, but you'll notice I'm kind of sideways falling. Sometimes it is intentional. And again, more staring at the next wall that I need to go to because I can't loot right now because low percent. I can run around and like pretend I'm looting and look at what the loot would be for funsies. We might do that later on.
So fun fact is forthcoming and throughout the rest of the game as well is that we do have to enter in codes. These are all static, so this helps out a lot that we don't have to rely on, say, code RNG, for example. So then it's
oh my gosh, imagine.
It makes us. I've played games recently that actually have RNG for math puzzles, and it's pain.
It does feel kind of cool to tell somebody, oh, where are you at in the game? I know what key code you need.
Thankfully for us,
the one caveat is we can't just run straight to the door and punch it in. We still need to prove to the game that we would know what the code is. So I still have to go to the terminal that shows the code, even though I know what it's going to say.
Still need the log for it.
I know what page it's on.
This terminal also has the effect of essentially turning the area into lockdown. It's the trigger for this alien to drop. And this alien is still in its animation, and he's going to be in his animation for a while. Now, fortunately, while the alien's in the animation, he can't hear us. He's still in the animation. And still in the animation. He's still doing it. And about now, he actually starts to become active. Yeah. But at this point, we're so far away from him.
And the nice way
That's one of the big things, right? The AI, as sensitive as it is. Oh my gosh, I messed up. I accidentally pressed R. I didn't mean to. I just straight up missed the E key. So I looted everything, so I technically just broke low percent rules. Now, I'm not going to use the loot, so it's still okay. But I do technically have a loot now. I messed that up just a little bit. But for the marathon, we'll keep it going. Just as a full disclosure, I just straight up missed
Nobody saw anything. It's fine. What are you talking about? Like, it's fine.
Weirdly, my monitor just switched off as soon as you looted the body. I don't know what happened.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's
it's so convenient.
Stream buffered a little bit.
Checking back the VOD. Time skipped. Why? I don't know why. So there's a little fun quirk as well that Drake did to get out of the animation of the xenomorph dropping, which was basically just aiming the gun. And that just gets you out to a point where you actually have full FPS capability, essentially.
Yeah, it's a kind of funny. The game will sometimes pull your look somewhere when it's really important that you see what's going on. If you pull out any weapon, it will usually reset that look. So I actually did it in Mission 4 as well, but it's very, very subtle in Mission 4.
Yeah,
and then mission 5 has it. Then mission 7, we're gonna do another one.
there's a lot of things.
Quite a bit of little spots
yeah.
for that.
There's a lot of things you can do in this game to save a very minor amount of time. Like you saw in this mission, the vent peak and pulling out the revolver to look away from an animation. Like there's not, because you run at a set speed. Like there's so many speedruns where you have like varied speed, or like your movement will be like very important, but you just run at one set speed. So if you really want to push for times, then it's everything else you do, like all the minor stuff, like all the sprint bursting in this section, all the kind of the terminals you use, like using them as quickly as possible, the codes, and everything in between.
Sprint bursting as well here. The alien is basically directly on top of us at this point, and while it's in the vent, it's fine with us walking. Walking will not make it drop. Sprinting, however, will make it drop. And so what we do is we very, very briefly tap the sprint button. And what that does is it gives us a tiny burst of speed, meaning it's just a bit faster than walking. And we're essentially just pushing the alien slightly, but not enough so it actually drops. And
Yeah, me notice I was totally silent in that section as well. I was trying to listen really carefully for if he's making any additional noise in events that suggested that I sprint bursted too much. Because I will need to either improv or reload, depending on how lucky I am.
And improv in this game
well,
is
we got
fun.
our second weapon. Our second proper weapon.
Oh, we
got the
did.
stun baton. And the stun baton is crazy useful. However, because we can't loot anything, we have one use for the entire game. And where we decide to use it is very, very important, because the stun baton is our get out of jail free card. And it can make missions that are usually horrendous into something that is much easier. Also, Dre, you looted the...
I was going to say.
I just grabbed the wrong. Guess I'm reloading mission 6 anyway.
Okay.
I totally, that was exactly me. The hardest part of low percent is not looting stuff that you have so much muscle memory to loot. And I zoned out so much.
It's so easy to just go
I was so not ready to do that.
That's fine. Nobody saw anything. Oh, we're back here again. Yeah.
I'm like, I already messed up mission 5, and all of a sudden my friend's, okay, yep, I just grab everything again. It's fine.
Fortunately, it's not too much time lost.
Yeah. I mean, it gives us a chance to actually talk about like the lore and stuff. But anyway, so I think it's around this sort of point where we kind of reconvene. Is it around this point that we reconvene with Taylor and Samuels?
No, we did it in mission 4.
Yeah, well, yeah. But like on the way to obviously seeing Taylor and Samuels, we find out that Taylor had injured herself during the circling and spiraling around the space, and the way they landed means that, ow, my leg, it's broken. So we've got to try to find a medical kit to look after Taylor's injury, basically.
I totally didn't mess up the rewire 2 times in a row either.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
So the lore for the previous mission as well is we went to see Dr. Coleman, or we went to investigate the medical facilities to try and obtain medical supplies. Dr. Coleman told us that there's nothing actually in his area, the previous mission, but he could help us open the elevator down to this current section, which is likely to have medical supplies. So we're currently now just having a good old wander around to try and get any information as to where medical supplies could be.
Yeah. Also, another thing with the lore is we skip a terminal, which reveals that someone came on the station with a xenomorph inside them. So if you know the first Alien movie, you'll very easily tell that that's what the terminal or the woman on the terminal was alluding to, because that's when we get more information on what's happened. Like someone has come onto the station with an egg, and yeah, basically like the first Alien movie. That's how it went. But we skipped that terminal.
Skill issue hit really hard there for a second.
That's
one of my bad luck codes.
So we're triggering an explosion there to specifically lure the alien into a certain spot. And the reason that we want to actually lure the alien into a spot is because it's just far enough away so that we can now run in the other direction. And usually if the alien was not lured, he would just come and chomp us immediately here. There are also a bunch of humans that can be in your way
another
here.
random pattern
Nice.
spot here.
Thankfully,
I got the
no
good
humans.
boop though, so
Yeah, there can be 3 revolver humans in your way. Revolver humans, especially at close range, they just one-shot us.
And Nightmare as well. They are ready to aim at you. Genuinely, they will kill you straight up.
it is almost certain death. I have had like one run in another category that I did get like bullet, headshot, and survive before I lost the run in the next mission. But we don't talk about that part.
Yeah,
But,
the tracker
it
has.
is possible to save, except that we need this loot here. So we need the
tracker-
ammo, so it's not even worth it here.
I think if you save, you do get a med kit for free, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
so
you
a med
blow
kit
the
just
save.
appears.
I'm taking the safety save, but still can't grab the med kit, tragically.
Yeah, so the tracker has this really useful thing it does where it beeps if something comes in range. And I can't hear the audio on the screen share at the moment, but we would hear out the beeps, and what the beeps would tell us is where the humans are. So there are a few different locations on where the guys would be when we enter this area, but we're leaving now, and they're all dispersed. But when we arrive into the area, there's certain spawn points which we can't see. And if we listen for the beeps,
By the way,
then
sorry to
we'll be able
interrupt.
to tell.
This
Yeah?
is the loudest part of the entire game coming up right here. So just audio, everyone, warning. I forgot to warn a little earlier, but right after this, as this explosion goes, very loud. I even like to take my headphones off.
No, I'll explain after. Yeah.
Okay, now continue, EB. Sorry.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
Wanted to call that one out for everyone.
We'll listen to where the beeps are, and if we hear a beep in one location, then we know that's exactly where the guys are, and we know we can run safely. There's only one situation which didn't happen where the humans would be in the way, so that's what Drake's was alluding to earlier, where he was talking about headshotting them. Yeah, which is something you can do, but it's very risky. You can. But we wouldn't even do that in low percent because that would cost revolver ammo. So
Drake,
Right, yeah, we
how's
need that ammo so much, so.
How's the button mashing here?
It's going all right. I've discovered experimentally that scrolling up is the one that survives. So I'm just scrolling
Nice.
up.
Oh,
That's why
thank God.
my door hacks are a little slower than I'm used to because I have to scroll up for them, which is very unnatural.
okay, we're coming up on mission 7, which is a very notorious mission.
The best mission of
For
them all.
multiple
No
reasons.
issues at all. Yeah.
It's essentially it's a balance and act between luring humans and not aggroing Steve, who's above us. And he
One
could
more
be
thing
anywhere.
we're saying as well on the topic of health. This is another one of those moments, and Evie was mentioning it earlier as well. One of those moments that the health, there's a scripted damage in that room. Since the room is on fire, you are taking, I think, 3 damage, 3% per tick or something like that. A very slow deterioration, but that entire sequence there costs us 30% of our health. So we're now sitting at 42 out of, again, 100%. And again, that's as low as we want to go until way later in the game when we can finally afford to give some of that up again.
Yeah,
Thankfully,
so-
that is the last of the scripted damage. So whatever health we have now is
technically-
ours to manage, and
It's not a lot.
It's in our
Technically,
hands.
mission 18 has scripted damage, but it also gives you scripted health immediately beforehand.
Okay, so this is mission 7. So Steve is currently above us right now, and he has free roam of the whole area, which is a big problem. Because if I think I know what Drax is gonna do. He's gonna shoot the revolver, and we gotta make sure that Steve can't hear that revolver. But we have no control over that. So
Yes, this mission is the notorious mission. I can't promise it's gonna be pretty, but I figure let's go for the really cool speedrun strat first and see if we gotta break out the backup strat. We made good enough time earlier, even with my goof in mission 6. So I figure, why not chance it?
You got this. You got this.
Okay, I got a good Jeremy spawn. So it is, I'm gonna be silent until I have the chance to run past these guys. Okay, I've been spotted. We're gonna make a lot of noise here. We should be just out of range of Steve for now. And I'm going to shoot in front of this door to lure the humans to the orange door because we want them to open it. I'm going to smack this door as it opens. I'm gonna smack this button. and then we're gonna run, grab the upgrade to our maintenance tuner so we can do tier 2 hacks, and then save load to teleport the humans. And if everything goes well, we'll have just the right amount of aggro on the alien. I should let you guys explain what's going on here, because I'm not probably explaining
Yeah, please
it very
focus,
well.
mate. No worries.
What we're trying to do here is we're trying to lure the humans over, but we're also trying to ensure that the alien doesn't drop and kill the humans. It's a really, really difficult balancing act because we need the humans alive for now. The humans are a massive threat in a bit, but for now we need them to open the door. This allows us to bypass going up the ladder, doing hacks, talking to the android, doing all of that stuff. So here we have a good pattern. We're going to kill one of the humans. Hopefully, the alien will come and kill the other two. If they don't, it's going to be dicey later, but fingers crossed.
Making me nervous because I can't hear the game.
Yeah.
That's very important in this mission.
I think I just heard Steve drop in here. Yep, so he's in the warehouse. This exit's not looking good so far, but I'm gonna try it. See if we get lucky. We might have to reload here. So he should go in the vent because he thinks he can't get to me. So yep, there he goes. So this is my chance.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that we lure the alien into this room here. And once we do that, well,
Oh no.
once we lure the alien into this room, it can't actually go through doors.
Nah.
So
That's
that door, that
lucky.
door that Drake was looking at before, we can go through it, but the alien doesn't really like going through doors. It likes to go back up through the vent and drop down again, which gives us time to actually run a fair bit of the way. So I'll see if we'll be able to show this off.
I think he's in the warehouse here.
He can't.
Yeah, Steve
spawn
can be
anywhere.
anywhere. Whereas when you reload the save, Steve can spawn anywhere in the map, and he can even
Yes,
basically.
yes.
Oh,
There we go.
that's,
Okay, so in theory, Steve will take out that guy. And now we're on the safe side until events.
I want to make sure that that human in the warehouse dies and Steve locks onto the vent before you create a path. Because as soon as
Go
Steve
down.
locks onto the vent, he won't go for you, but he will drop very quickly.
So we're trying to lure him back down into this room, using the knowledge that he won't, hopefully, drop out
In
here.
theory. Yeah, he just dropped his vent, just heard it. We also got the broken human. This is normal.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
fine. It's expected.
That human's not having a good day.
No.
I'm not gonna book it though. I have too much.
If in
going
doubt,
for
you can
me.
go round to the left and take the safety vent.
In theory, I should be able to run here. I'm playing it extra safe for the sake of that being my second try, when my practice did not nearly go as swimmingly.
Yeah, so while Steve is in the vent, you can walk and he won't hear you, but if you run, he will hear you. So
Problem
if
is,
the
I
alien,
couldn't quite
yeah,
hear if Steve was in the warehouse or not. So that was the reason for the crouch hop most of the way, very painfully.
yeah,
That
but
being
if-
said, second
did not actually need the
fast
safe load,
mission
but-
7 is really good.
Nicely done, buddy.
Very,
It
very
is.
well done.
yeah.
Oh, I was so worried about that one for the showcase because the low percent is all of the no major glitches chaos times 20.
Yeah, you really have to,
But yeah,
because
you
you
can
can't.
see how.
You have much less strats to work with. Like when you have the ability to loot, like you normally would, you would have a lot more options if things went wrong. But in low percent, you're kind of at the mercy of the game and what that does. So it's-
Nice ladder flag.
Yeah, that's so much fun to do.
Minor flex. We do enjoy calling that one the ladder flex. Necessary after a successful ladder flex that we bring out the biceps.
there's a lot of minor things in Mission 7 that would take way too long to explain now.
Yeah,
Like,
but I mean, you can very quickly see how like the timing we need for Steve to aggro on those humans, and the humans to open the door for us, but not be so aggro they shoot us right away. It's just so much hoping for exactly the right setup. It is very chaotic.
catching up just a little on the lore and where we're at story-wise. So we are now back at the very beginning of Mission 5 in the same area, and we have just seen Kayla, and she is not in the best of state. We've delivered the medical supplies there, and we've just asked the people who were near her, hey, can we just take her somewhere safer? It's not safe here. And they just told us, sure, however, the tram's down. And so you need to get this started because you were the person who caused all of this. Even though we weren't really the people who caused it, so Ripley is not particularly happy about them. However, we've kind of obliged anyway.
Right,
That is a really good note. That I one of the things I love about this game is how tastefully they reuse the areas. You come back through the same areas, but like with different paths. So it's kind of a fun way to really appreciate the map and all the detail they put into it.
Yeah, so this is a very interesting room. There's quite a few strats you can use. So we have to deal with an android and a revolver human. So I'm not sure what Drex is going to do, but the revolver human gets released
Gotta keep you
now.
on your toes. I will do the strat that has yet to fail me in practice.
Okay.
And I guess now this is not practice, so that has yet to fail me. Or yeah, that has not failed practice.
Okay.
So we've dealt with the revolver human. And now we have the android to deal with. So Drex is going to use a revolver bullet, one of our 6. I
think I'm down to
believe.
2 left, which is good because I definitely need 1 for immediately after this.
So a weird little quirk about saving and reloading means that it will de-aggro every single android on the map. And
I might have just messed it up because
you may need to crouch immediately after reloading.
Oh, maybe we're good.
Okay.
Okay.
And what the
Normally,
android
like,
is,
if he was aggroed enough, he would be in that room ready to like walk into and try to grab you after grabbing your useful tool, which we're using here, which is one of the gas flares to try to cut open these safety doors. Throughout the game, you do get basically different level up of these torches, and means that we can actually cut the doors quicker, which is quite nice.
The speed increase on the later ones is very nice. This one is kind of painful.
Thankfully, this is the only one we have to do with the tier 1. But goodness me, it takes its sweet time.
What's happening behind us? The reason,
in low percent, considering the android is currently just looking at a body, but it has the potential at any time to just say, okay, I finished looking at this body, I'm going to roam around now. And if he does that, we have to pray he doesn't see us. Thankfully, we're all good here.
Nice! 18th chime's a charm!
Let's
as they like to
go.
say. Still more awkward up-only scrolling while my mouse wheel's still not bound.
Salirò sulla prossima.
So if we actually
But yeah, no, it's fine.
if we actually did have loot and we were able to use our items, we would be, well, obviously we can't do it in a low percent, but we would be doing a flare skip, which is where we put the flare at a very specific point, and then as we are putting it down and coming back from the putting down animation, we could use the scroll wheel to be able to actually hit the inside of the vent, which will then just warp us through that actual safety vent and just clear through, so we don't even have to torch down the vent. It's really nice.
Yeah, that's a plant clip.
Yeah, plant clip, that's the one. There's names. We call it whatever you want, really. We're speedrunners, it's fine.
You know, the flare thing.
So a fun note,
Yeah,
while
that
it's
one,
still
that
relevant,
one.
is that you saw me shoot the stairs right there. That is a strat. That is one of the most important bullets I can shoot, because there are 3 more revolver humans upstairs.
There are 4. Those
4
guys are
more
really
revolver humans
nasty.
upstairs.
They're
I feel
scripted
like
to walk down as well.
auctioneer now.
And so
How many
usually,
revolver humans up here?
yeah, usually what happens is they'll come and explore this whole area because they'll hear the tram, and then after about a minute they'll say, okay, guys, we really shouldn't split up like this and check this place out. Let's just go back. However, by shooting the bullet, it puts them into aggro mode, and so they're ready to shoot at you. However, because they're all the way at the top of the stairs and not in our room, we can just wait for the tram and get in the tram immediately.
Yeah,
They
so
just stand there awkwardly, and it's a really nice feature.
It's so helpful.
it's kind of situational. So like we use a revolver to lure humans in the previous mission, but we use a revolver to make them stationary in this one. So there's a
think
few
it might
kind
be
of
something to
niche
do with
situations.
The lure technically shoots away from them versus the stair shot technically shoots towards them. Something like that, right? Of how they're going to respond to hearing a bullet.
Yeah, basically,
More a theory, if anything.
simply, it's just that you get two different responses.
I feel like it's just like me when I drink caffeine. Sometimes it keeps me awake and helps me focus. Other times I want to go take a nap.
Mood.
Energy drink in, nap time immediately after. It's so blissful.
Talking about nap time. Go to mission 9.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying to tempt you guys with nap time.
This is
while you're
Snoozeville
up
2,
this
let's go.
late, or early at this rate, and I have mission 9 coming up. No hate on mission 9, just from the
recline the
speedrunner
chair,
side of things.
take a nap.
Yeah.
Is
See you in 10, EV.
Yeah, Mission 9 is often controversial when it comes to speedrunners. You either love it or you hate it. And we love the people that love it.
Hold between all of us. Who likes it, who hates it? James starts.
More on the side of hate it. However, I did get a 1042 once, which is insane, so I kind of liked it a bit.
I hate it because I know how it works, and I hate it because I know exactly.
Yeah, that being said, I recently properly realized how the first section works, and we'll talk about it a bit more, but
I hate it.
It's essentially an auto-scroller with RNG.
Yeah.
yeah, it's another moment you can just kind of arbitrarily lose time because the game decides it doesn't like you.
When you're running a category that's really optimized and you get to mission 9, like you could come out with whatever the game feels like. You could be minus 10 going into this mission.
Of about 25 seconds of RNG in this mission, and compared to how optimized some of the runs are, 25 seconds. It actually just kills your run on the spot. Your run is just gone if you get worst case RNG.
And then, or if you're really lucky like Nico, you get runny heist every so often.
Oh my
God, yeah. Like that was like, I think I got that like 2021 or something like that.
I got a running heist a few months ago.
Really?
I've never seen
Like
that.
I've never had it myself, and then sure enough, I saw it, and I still have no idea what happened.
So to kind of like explain what we're talking about here, there is an opportunity where after we explode a load of rocks that are in the way for our accompanying friends to try to get towards us, they slowly walk towards you to kind of give you another heist up. But there's this weird kind of like super rare opportunity where one of the humans just runs in space, completely forgets about what gravity is and physics, and just legs it at you. And there's only I could probably count off my fingers. Like there's only maybe 4 or 5 people who have actually experienced it in their gaming total gaming experience.
Yeah. It's one of the rarest bugs we've ever seen in the game.
Yep. And I think I've got a video logs somewhere, so it's somewhere on the internet, but it's
if
so
nothing
rare.
else, if you search for links in our DMs, you should be able to find it.
Yeah, true.
Giving a little bit of a kind of technical explanation of what's going on here. It looks as though we're just walking. However, shenanigans are happening behind us as usual. There are 3 NPCs, Meeks, Heist, and Foster. Now, Meeks is the one always at the front. He's super speedy. We don't need to worry about him.
He's in
Foster
the
and Heist, they are the problem NPCs. So Heist is the NPC that's always at the end. And as you can see, he's still fairly far back, but honestly, that's not terrible. What happens is they are forced by the game to always stay in an order, and they can never overtake each other. And so Heist, he gets stuck at the very, very back, and sometimes he actually wants to be really speedy, but Foster just decides to wait, and so Heist will just, as a result, stand behind Foster. And so quite often you'll just see Heist just chilling there thinking, I really want to go, but Foster's just looking at a rock somewhere, completely zoned out. And then Heist afterwards will look at said rock after Foster started moving, and they can just create this knock-on effect and chain effect of just waiting and waiting and waiting, all the while we're just waiting for them to actually arrive so we can continue the mission. So
and again, another reason we hate M9, so that's fine. It's fine.
It's a very, very frustrating point of RNG.
Yeah, it's
just part of the game fun, right?
It's random for when he starts to move as well.
As a first playthrough, you do get to really enjoy and love the lore, because obviously this actually is there's a good point to explain about the lore as well. Like it's in the next area, this kind of actually reflects part of one of the Alien movies, if I recall correctly, right?
Yeah, it's the first.
Love Letters, the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
a
isn't Prometheus the one that this is kind of trying to bank off of?
I think so, yeah.
I had an idea for something about the running heist because we mentioned it. This is actually very experimental right here. I have no idea.
Imagine
if
if
you
we
get
show
it,
it
this would be
off.
hilarious.
Oh my gosh, if you get
Look.
that, would be incredible.
I just had a realization. If mission 1, if I look straight down for that Samuel sequence at the end of mission 1, Taylor will always be standing in a position that blocks me. The body blocks me from going around, like, where I usually go on the backside. And it's the only time I see her in that position. No, okay. No, like this time.
Nah,
But
shame.
I wonder if where you look somewhere during that sequence will make them stand just close enough to the explosion that it activates that passive human fear response, and I'm wondering if that's what enabled him to run. I'm totally theory crafting like on the spot here, but
We have no idea what causes the NPCs to run,
Yeah.
essentially.
Mission
That-
9
that-
is one of those weird enigmas of a mission.
There are
Truly.
tools. There are tools in the game which allows you to like open cage. Like you can set heists to run in open cage. Like there are tools which allow you to do stuff like that, but we don't really know in a speedrun sense and how that works.
Yeah, big shout out to Matt Fear for Open Cage. They put a lot of work into that. I think it's like nearly 8 years of work on it. I think it is actually 8 years of development.
it's a
So much.
masterpiece in the works for sure.
Did you know it's on Steam now,
Actually,
by the
I saw
way?
a question earlier about Kitty Mod as well. Kitty Mod is possible because of Open Cage, which is awesome.
That's true. Yeah. So a lot of the well-known speedrunners, like we're talking like Psychohypnotic and there's a few others as well, but they all like to run like challenge runs of Alien Isolation, and to do that, you do need to modify the game in certain ways where you can add like multiple xenomorphs, colored xenomorphs. Sometimes, well, very recently as well, and I got to be one of the first exclusive people to play it. We got to change out the xenomorph to Thomas the Tank Engine, and that was
I
a
was
trip.
please tell me you've seen that.
It was a trip, I'll tell you now. And then the stringified version of
I
it.
would call it more of a train wreck.
Oh god. But there was another one I think that didn't get released, which was basically like make the alien as stringy as possible, so like it's all stretched out and stuff like that. And that was once again like so trippy because like sometimes you could see him poking through the wall. You're like, okay, he's near. So what's he gonna do next?
So technique you see me doing here, which looks totally chaotic and I'm just bored. It's actually intentional. Alien Isolation has a built-in mouse acceleration, which is noticeable particularly when you're in the spacesuit. And so what happens is on these really smooth corners, if I try to gently move my mouse, it'll be very stuttery around these corners. That said, you can get past the mouse acceleration is unidirectional. So if I move my mouse up and down consistently, I will have the smooth sideways movement because it's not going from stop to moving. It's still always moving. It's a very interesting, but it's just, I mean, in terms of time saved, you're, hundredths of a second maybe. But it's still a nice little optimization. And
Speed running.
Like
yes,
what I got
exactly,
used
things we
to.
do.
Like what I got used to because of that mouse acceleration is when I turn left, I will sometimes move my mouse down or up while turning left to like overcome the mouse acceleration. It's just something I got used to doing because of Alien.
Yeah, I think that's probably very much a similar technique.
Yeah.
Oh, fun fact
So
as well. If you play on controller, your turning is locked to a max speed. So if you are planning to play on PC, don't play on controller. Don't play on controller. Don't play on controller. Play on mouse.
That being said, there are still some speedrunners who put up some really impressive time on controller.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh,
the
yeah, absolutely.
people who
Oh, yeah.
play both on console and on controller on PC, hats off to them because they have done some magic with that.
Oh, James,
I
did you see that
couldn't
clip of me playing on the Switch version? There's one infamous clip where I think it was in Mission 10 where we tried to do a little tech where we shoot the gas canister to try to lure away the xenomorph. It dropped my FPS down to 1.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Man, I
so
love
you
the
can run the
Nintendo.
game. So you can run this game on the phone. You run on the Switch. I recently saw someone streaming this game on the phone, which is
Oh,
quite
really?
surprising.
Wow.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Props to them.
Streaming from a phone alone sounds like a really impressive feat.
I think we'll be at a point now where we'll be coming up to our first break because obviously we've done all of our walking. We are going to need to stand up and stretch for a moment because, walking's tough on the legs, isn't it?
3 hour run.
Good
My
point as
real
well.
time with the reload in mission 6 is still 106.
Honestly, very, very solid.
That is-
100%. That's really good.
That is insane pace for me.
Yeah, well,
That's
it's a really
hilarious.
good time as well. because
well,
Mission 10
we're on
is
insane pace.
chaotic. Mission 10 is the first really chaotic mission. It's the first mission where, well, we're going to have to actively deal with the alien, and we can't just shenanigan our way out of it as we did in Mission 5, where we just ran away from it. Mission 10 is an adventure. And so
Yeah,
we are going to have to break out all of the stops in order to actually try and survive, let alone do it
There's-
quickly.
There's been a lot of labbing done in Mission 10 on strats.
So much,
Like a
yeah.
lot of
Very similar.
knowing on
vibes
how
as
the
Mission
alien
sure.
works in the section. Like, we've got it down to where we send the alien up into certain vents and he stays there for a while. And it's quite when it works, it's really good. It's really
Yeah,
good.
if it works, it makes
Yeah.
you feel really good. at
When
the
it
game. When it
works.
doesn't, it can be really frustrating.
When it doesn't, yeah, it can be a death sentence. And so, especially in world record runs for this category, it's down to essentially, is the alien going to cooperate? And if it doesn't drop at this exact time and go into this exact vent, the run is dead. And you have to reload because you will run out of resources.
Yeah,
It's
you want the alien to go into cycles, and what that will basically do is, in the long run, you would use less fuel because you'll drop less. If you get the alien into a cycle where he drops more, that's really bad because that means you use more fuel, and we only have a certain amount. We only have 500 to work
500
with.
sounds like a lot, but
Nope,
it
you
burns
burn through quickly.
So quickly.
That's another quirk of Nightmare Mode, by the way. If we're talking about differences, Nightmare Mode fuel from the flamethrower is consumed at twice the rate. So it's effectively like you get 250 in the other difficulties, except for Novice, where it's half speed. So it's like we're only given 125 Novice flamethrower fuel.
The difference between the amount of fuel you can just throw away on Novice and Nightmare is night and day.
Yeah. So this is the end of Mission 9. Church, if you wanted to do that first break, this is the ideal time.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
my game just crashed.
Oh my god!
So it's...
I knew
Yeah,
it.
perfect
I
timing
knew this would
indeed.
happen.
I was bound to. I had good pace, so naturally it has to crash. So
Well, you're going to take that break while you get that sorted. Just a quick reminder before we go to that break. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Game Zone Quick Hotfix. Tonight we are showcasing Alien Isolation low percent. I will hand it right back over to y'all whenever you're ready.
sweet. All right. So the game did crash. Fortunately, I do have a backup low percent save. The nice thing is my loot that I picked up is actually identical, and I got lucky enough that my health is identical as well. So this is like my game didn't crash. But a funny happening after all.
Yeah, it's just like nothing ever happened.
Exactly.
Oh, and timer will resume once the screen fades in. I almost forgot that. About 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I did my best.
Se vuoi sapere il resto, fammi uscire da...
Ah.
Succederà, Marlo.
If it wasn't low percent, this would be a good time to run around and loot, but we can't do that.
So we actually have to hear Marlo now, who's kind of like trying to, he's trying to sweet talk us into trying to let him out. And we're like, no, we're not going to do that. Essentially, Marlo kind of knew about the whole circumstance of the person who brought the xenomorph onto Sebastopol in the first place and caused all of this mess, basically.
As another fun thing, one of the part of the lore we skipped in Mission 6 by skipping over that cutscene that technically is not a forced objective, but most players will run into that terminal. That kind of hints at what's going on as well, and the Mission 9 reveals more of the story because Barlow was just talking to us. So anyway, flamethrower, this is our fourth required pickup of the run. And it is a very, very helpful one for this mission. I'm so glad it is required because I am terrified at the idea of not having a flamethrower for this mission.
Yeah, the flamethrower has
finally gives us a weapon against the alien, and so we will be using it extensively because goodness me, do we need a weapon against the alien. The game fully intends to just throw you in the deep end and say, hey, we've given you this tool, we want you to use it. And it doesn't really matter if we're trying to go for a casual route or a speedrun route, we are going to be using that because the alien is really, really aggressive in Mission 10. One of the most aggressive states that the alien is in throughout the entire game. It really just wants to kind of just hunt us down, kill us, give us an all-around bad time.
Yeah, for sure. The flamethrower has a lot of good uses that we use a lot during the NMG run and that you'll see Drax use. So, for example, just holding the flamethrower out will affect Steve in a number of different ways. So there's a lot of stuff I can talk about, but it would be talking all day.
Yeah, that's
So,
we can do a better job showing as opposed to telling, but a little quirk that always gets me, and again, trying to say it so I don't jinx myself, is the flamethrower you have to hold out ever so slightly longer than the revolver before you can actually shoot it. So I'm almost always late on the flamethrower. But anyway, this is a big Steve section, so I'm going to probably be pretty quiet as I attempt to lock in here. You guys are welcome to talk about whatever, making fun of me not being able to pick up loot, like, totally your call. I'm going to try to lock in, though.
Yeah,
well, now
so
that you
Steve
give us permission.
You always had permission.
Yeah, so the alien is currently traveling down towards us, so we're going to make some noise and then walk again. What this will do is the alien is now traveling behind us and he's going to stay there, so he's going to go out of range and then he's going to run. So we're currently out of the hearing range of the alien. So the alien is still there and in a moment it will start traveling back up towards us, but we've got all this time to run to the next objective. And the timing works out pretty well. So by the time we get to the terminal, the alien will be arriving or should be arriving. So that's what's happening now. So that's why Drax can run. That's why the alien isn't dropping, because he's currently following us at the minute, but out of his hearing range. So any time between now and like the next 10 seconds, the alien should be in range
just heard the boom,
to hear us.
He teleported. Yeah. Hopefully he drops back here.
Oh, this
will be dicey. This will be dicey. I need him to go up a very specific vent, so...
Well done.
Barely.
Thankfully, Steve is incredibly receptive to the flamethrower on Nightmare. On Novice, if you try that, you are getting your face eaten, because the alien reacts very, very slowly. There you can see a trick as well, which we called bursting. And we do this thing where we will hold out the flamethrower and very, very, very briefly tap the left mouse button to fire a puff of flamethrower fuel. And in general, it takes 3 puffs of fuel, 3 bursts of fuel, in order to get the alien to go back up into the vent. And this is also a useful thing for us to measure how much fuel we use. In kind of a worst-case scenario, we assume that each burst of the flamethrower takes about 20 fuel. Good bursting will use less. But if you assume about 20 per burst, that's a good way of kind of planning how you're going to spend your fuel throughout the run.
Yeah, and we only sent Steve up once, which is really good. You see he's trapping there.
One little bug coming out. An NMG allowed bug coming up. Just want to call that out.
And so what we do is we go right next to an elevator, and that elevator is a bit that the alien just cannot get to. So it forces an up vent, saving us fuel, which is so useful. Here we have to wait for the objective before we can go, because otherwise the game just straight up crashes.
Yep. It actually crashes like there and Switch as well, believe it or not.
Yeah, so what happens
load to respawn, Steve.
So by reloading, the alien tends to go back up into the vent. Sometimes, rarely, it can just stay on the ground. But this, again, gives us a bit more time before we have to spend any further fuel.
Now, this bit is quite treacherous because the Xenomorph can be very, very, very receptive. So there's going to be a lot of crouch hopping. There's going to be a lot of like maybe sprint bursting. Just trying to keep as silent as possible. And also, You see that android there? If they see any kind of form of attacking against the xenomorph, they are programmed to try to protect the only kind of like single life cell kind of situation, or just basically protect the xenomorph. So we essentially become the threat to the androids there.
This fuel, by the way, is guaranteed to spawn here, but again, low percent, we can't pick it up because it's optional. And
It's so easy to accidentally pick up as well.
Yep.
Because
especially with the mouse
in the
wheel.
way of the hack that we need to do.
If you do pick it up, then just make sure you don't reload, because it will stay reserved.
So one thing I think, you can correct me wrong, I think we could do is right before you give it up in 13, you can reload so you don't accidentally have it later.
Yes.
That's true.
Just so long as we're not using it, right? The mods like to be pretty forgiving.
So we hit the side there twice to try to lure the alien over here. It kind of makes it the best kind of setup for us, so that it gives us the best running out of this area without the xenomorph chasing our butts, basically.
Reminded to safety save on the exit.
Yes, please.
Yes,
The
thank you.
exit
I was thinking about it. But...
horrendous. So,
It can be horrendous.
yes. So we are currently in a super precarious situation as well, where we're trapped with the alien. We can't use our shenanigans of running away from it, making sure it's out of range, because it's just here with us. So we're just trying to stay out of sight until this door opens.
Yeah, he's kind of just chilling.
Yep.
Yeah. As soon as the door opens, the alien will essentially say, okay, I need to escape now. And as a result, it gives us enough time to run to the save station, save and reload, and then worry about getting out of here before the alien starts dropping again.
That first wave there, you can avoid a reload and kind of book it, but if I do still get unlucky in the exit, that's a lot of run to redo. So, good measure is safety save for Marathon. Marathon safe strats.
Oh, we've got the audio bug now. Fun. Oh.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, or that happens because I tried
He
to
did not want
be a
you
little
alive.
bit funny. See, yeah, that's my poor luck is he tends to drop really early on this exit for me. But that's all right. That is unfortunate in nature. I was so ready for him to not be right there that I just assumed it wasn't going to be a threat.
Let's just hope that Steve isn't going to be in pain here.
If in
drop
doubt, you
behind
do
you.
have enough fuel to blame him.
My hope is to have, if I can manage it,
Should be good to go now. I think.
enough extra fuel to survive a bad KG.
Okay.
Okay, we got Jeremy in our way, so this is where it's going to get a little dicey.
Careful, careful. Okay.
Perfect. And then we need to essentially just tap this guy with the flamethrower so he doesn't shoot us. It makes him recoil back for just long enough. We can get to the exit, and really, really well done.
Yeah,
All right,
for some
everybody,
reason,
breathe.
Being on fire briefly makes them flinch.
Cool.
I haven't figured out why that is.
I mean, if you
I'm
get
gonna do a quick
flamed
check.
like
Yeah,
that,
you
you
get
probably
shot by
flinch as
fire.
well, right?
So your dicing is your movement's locked at that loading screen anyway, so it gives you a chance to check fuel. I'm at 421, which is insanely good.
Really good. Here we're running, and the alien spawned just on top of us there, but we have just enough time to get out of range to allow us to run. We go to the left here, as that actually manipulates the alien's AI and pushes it slightly further away, so we can just run all of this way, and we get our second gas torch upgrade. This makes all of the panels that we need to cut so much nicer.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see here, we
One
have
thing
to
as
do a
well
panel.
is this android will
It's gonna
become
be a lot
hostile if
quicker.
he sees you on the terminal, so we also want to try to sneak around behind him. Pull those shenanigans behind his back.
And then this next bit are we trying to force a scripted drop here, or is it just going to happen? I can't remember.
This drop just happens. Now,
Tough. Welcome to Nightmare.
how early it happens is a bit up for grabs. So it looks like I'm going to get a... Oh, I got an early one, actually.
Perfect. That's excellent.
Cool thing
We
is,
want
if
the
you
flaming
shoot-
here.
If you shoot over ledges, sometimes you can do it
Really,
2
really
bursts
good.
instead of 3 bursts. Like I did right there. So that's a very calculated 2 bursts instead of a 3 burst opportunity. I don't think I got this one cycle, though. It just wasn't quite my best move.
Yeah, so we want to send the alien up into a specific vent. And what's happening now, what should happen is that you should stay there until we get like all the way through this section and all the way up the ladder. And
really good.
shortly after we get up the ladder, we'll hit a trigger which will get the alien into play, because he's still not dropped. He still doesn't want to move. So by flaming him into that vent, we can run all of this way, which is very, very nice.
Now, I've got my revolver ready to go.
Oh.
The important caveat is that trick will only work without a reload.
That's
so
true,
I only
yeah.
get one chance at that. Nice thing is that's why I was really careful about how much fuel I used earlier.
He
so
might drop quite quickly after.
Yeah, he can drop here.
Yep, so that's an unfortunate one. Oh, and of course I didn't get enough.
Oh, that's really, really unlucky.
Oh, no.
That's gonna sting. That's gonna sting for
Very,
sure.
very unfortunate.
I'm gonna have to really greed on the exit here. And the android is
The
already
android,
aggro.
that's a different aggro android. Watch out for the ground
This
here.
is not going.
Yeah, so this would just
we
be a
gotta
reload.
Yeah.
That's a
There's just not a whole
shame.
lot I can do. That android just not supposed to be there like that. So that's a really unfortunate one. That's the luck of the draw you get with this mission sometimes. I tried to wait on the canister, so I didn't quite have the time I needed for Steve, and it bit me there. So that's that trade-off of do you play it safe but make it riskier later, or vice versa?
Yeah,
as
this is
you
kind of
mentioned-
the whole thing of low percent. Like if one thing goes wrong, you're gonna have to reload essentially.
And as we mentioned earlier on, like every time that we reload, the game starts to get a little bit more buggier and buggier and buggier. Essentially, like the game kind of like adds more extra memory, and you know, as with like my applications, if you leave it open for a long time, or if you do multiple things, there can be memory leaks. So it's kind of the case that like small additions of memory leaking is kind of happening, and it can screw around with the patterns, and it can cause a bad time. So it's fine. It's fine.
Overall, it should still work
Primary
roughly the
leak
same.
in this game is... Oh, he's going to drop early, I think. Primary leak in this game is usually the save itself. The save doesn't completely reset the game state. And so that's where you're going to see most of the leaks. Please vent. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
I
good.
was starting to doubt it on that one because sometimes you're just up to some funky business.
Yeah, as you saw just before we had to reload, we flamed the alien. He kind of did this weird like recoil motion, and then just refused to go up. It does
He had
happen
one foot in
occasionally,
the vent there.
and
That
it's
camera
really
might hurt me as
annoying.
well. I'm not supposed to trigger that one.
Yeah.
That should be fine. You should stay on pattern.
Sweet, sweet.
He'll be
Yeah,
really
so
threatening, and he'll make a lot of spooky noises. He should be okay.
I think I might chance the save point as well. That might be a bad idea, but
No,
this
you'll be
next
fine.
section
Good.
can get so
Should be
funky. Oh, yeah, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
He has not dropped yet.
Good idea with a safety save here. That's a very good idea.
I saw it last time too. I'm like, man, I wonder if I should grab that. And then everything went wrong when I didn't. So that's what I get for playing it safe.
Oh, this.
Just gonna
Did he drop
walk 'cause he's
downstairs?
Downstairs.
Okay, if he dropped-
I think it
90%
might have
sure that's
been.
downstairs.
If he's downstairs, you're good to run here.
So as I mentioned earlier on about the switch 1 FPS bit, this gas
Yeah.
canister here is the one I was referring to. That on Switch loves to bring it down to 1 FPS. So thank you, gas canister.
Also,
It's
you
just a magic
saw
gas canister.
saw a quirk there with reloads. The gas canisters won't actually do any damage after reloads, which is really strange. I'm not quite sure how that
Drop
works.
upstairs just
Yep,
a little
that's good.
earlier than I was hoping for it.
We have no
this should
Android
be
down
fine.
here, which is exactly what we want. It's important that you
Okay.
look at this guy. You can see his eyes are glowing, and that means that he will try and grab you.
Only if
You
your
aren't
back is
looking at
turned, though.
Yeah. And obviously, we can't accept a grab. Getting grabbed deals 21% to us, which is half of our remaining health, which is devastating. We cannot accept that.
Side. Come on, buddy.
See, if we were doing anything but low percent right now, we would be throwing a Molotov at the point where the android comes out of one of these bays, and it allows for everything to be skips, and we could just run. It's so lovely.
Okay.
But again, we can't.
Yeah.
You do have fuel budgeted here to flame him if needed.
Yeah.
Thought I should just go for it. Just because it's such a precarious little section right there.
Yeah.
He was a little earlier than I wanted him to be, and that's where I got really nervous. And again, I think I have the fuel to spare. So
Yeah.
improv strategic decision. Usually try to bait it because there's a door you can press the emergency override button on here, but yeah, it felt like a necessary evil for this one.
Should be about
And looks like we're still at 244. So
yeah, perfect.
We should mention as well as that, obviously, we calculate everything. We don't know how much is inside of it. Well, we could bring up the flamethrower and actually look at the dial for whereabouts we are. We have no, like, numerical indicator for our fuel consumption, so it's a guessing game.
The only way we can
I've got a fast Steve on this one.
Nice.
That's another thing. Sometimes he's slow. Got good RNG, saved like 3 seconds. No, kind of lost those by losing my last, needing to reload, but...
This pattern's
We're not gonna talk
extra
about
good
that.
for low percent because counterintuitively, we want the alien to come back in range here. And that's because we're going to be luring it down and deliberately flaming it so it goes up in a certain vent. And this is so we can manipulate the rest of the mission and really get a pattern that means even though we have to bring him down early, he doesn't actually bother us for much of the rest of the mission. So you can see a little trick there. Ripley's hand's going crazy. And that's a trick called psycho hopping. It makes tons of noise.
Oh.
He's behaving. We're good.
You.
And so we have to make sure that he goes up properly.
That has to go to that vent, yeah. Sometimes he'll change his mind, run after us, and we flame him again. That'll do is you use more fuel, but he'll get in the wrong vent too, and then this entire sequence is messed up.
Yeah.
He is so aggressive if he doesn't go up in that vent.
Ooh, I heard a...
You're good. You're good.
Oh, God.
Or... I tried it, but...
Yeah.
Or my sequence gets messed up anyway, because this game is cruel sometimes.
Penso di sì.
So,
Yeah, so
that is
sometimes-
just the curse. Sometimes the sequence is just not what it's supposed to be, and that was an
Exactly, yeah.
example of it.
Yeah,
You
so
can see
after
a much
the
slower ski pattern as well. So when
After
you get to the
the,
bottom of the ladder, he may not be in range for you to do a wrench swing. So what you can do as a backup is you can just take a puff of fuel, and that will guarantee he starts coming over.
yeah, so
I wanted to save my revolver bullet because my fuel is just a little lower than I wanted to be for 11 and 12. So having a backup bullet is refreshing for me, but yeah. That's, again, part of the trade-off that we do for strategizing on the spot with this run. Can always be a mystery sometimes.
So kind of like the main objective of what we're trying to do here is we're trying to trap the xenomorph onto this like detachable lab, and so that we can send it off into space, and it won't be anybody's problem because obviously if you brought that xenomorph to Earth, that would cause a lot of problems. So we're trying to work with we're trying to work with everybody here, and Marshall Waits to say, hey, if you no,
He didn't go up.
no,
Just getting some weird luck this time around. I heard him go. I swear he went up. But I walked away. Maybe he went up the wrong vent or something.
You should stay by the door you go through.
Just stay in the doorway. Don't go past it. Just literally grease that doorway. Make sure he goes up. And that
Yeah, so when
I will try that. I will try that.
So when
What I've been
Steve
going
spawns
for-
in, that's
For the curious is if again I know if you shoot over stuff you can do 2 bursts instead of 3. So that wall is just the right height where I can get 2 bursts if I'm standing over it at just the right distance. So ideally trying to save a burst, but my timing has not been quite right for that one yet.
Wait.
First tries a charm, mate. You got this.
Yeah, you got this.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not mad about this one. This is not a skill issue. This is a game issue. I mean, as soon as there's a skill issue, then it's frustrating. But just some goofy stuff.
No drop yet.
Greed here. You might have to check the track to see if he's
So I
in
would
range.
I would
just
stay
stay
right
by
by
the
that door.
Literally in the doorway.
You
I'm
know
gonna
the
try my
red.
2 bursts just
Keep
because I've
dropping
got the
weirdly.
chance now.
No, that's
I'm sorry.
Wrong pattern.
What is what? Okay.
Okay.
All right. That works
He's up
out.
the vent, so let's see what happens.
That's the right vent in. So yeah, in theory, we have a good cycle again. But this is what we're mentioning. Sometimes the game just does.
I think
weird
this will
things
work.
sometimes. I heard the hiss like normal. This sounds right.
Yeah, we're
This
cozy.
seems better.
Okay, this is looking good.
You're not saving?
I could have, couldn't I?
You could have.
I'm just so good. Oh wow, I messed up that key code. So this exit, we have 3 vents we know from drop from. Sometimes it'll be this vent right in here.
The alien is
Other times it'll be this right here. and other times it'll be in this funny room.
Here we
Please
can
put
try
your
and
hands up.
save fuel by getting that flinch animation. If you hold, you're good to run. Just go for it. Perfect.
Oh, this might have been
Nice.
risky.
He should up then. Perfect.
Yes! 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 Yes!
If Steve is too close, you can die in this cutscene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However,
Got the
what we
fuel
did
back,
there
baby.
is by getting him to do the hands-up animation, we're essentially threatening him with the flamethrower, and he's like, "Whoa, okay, hold on. I don't want to get flamed." And
Promise,
that
do it too
saves us
many
fuel.
times and he stops doing it quite as often.
Yeah.
He will learn to just slowly pace towards you and then just kill you. So it's a really useful trick, but we can't overuse it.
So when you threaten him, you can only threaten him once. So the moment you threaten him, he's like he can't move. So it's really useful for when you want to threaten the alien and then do something. But you can only
secretly
threaten
did-
him once. So
Secretly, the
when you-
Xenomorph is a Reddit user. They love getting flamed.
So when you threaten the alien once, you can't threaten it again. So when it goes out that animation, it will slowly approach you if you're holding out the flamethrower, and then he'll just grab you.
I realised I take back everything I said there. The radial menu actually does give you a numerical indicator, but not on the HUD. So
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah, so we're luring the alien into the vents there because that's the one place which, well, it's away from us and it can't just randomly come and kill us. So the alien's now
Normally.
That
chilling
was
down
a
in the
10
vents.
fuel burst right there. That's the proudest thing I've done. The coolest
10
thing I've
fuel
done this
burst
entire
is the
run.
minimum fuel you can use in a burst. It is frame perfect.
Just to point at a quick chat
Well
comment there
done.
from Jan Solo. Yeah, there is a sequel being that was announced towards the end of last year, where
Yeah.
Alien Isolation 2 has been worked on, and all of us in the speedrun community are so hype. We're so hyped for it.
excited.
Bro, I
We're a bit
learned,
biased, but we quite like this game.
Yeah, you don't say.
I've learned the perfect Japanese word. I'm studying Japanese now. I've learned the perfect word for how I feel right now, and it's doki doki.
Come on.
My heart is thumping out of my chest after that escape because I feel I did my lure in the vent a little early because I misunderstood the Italian on the call out of when the airlock was ready.
Fortunately now
That
we
was
have a bit of calm because lore-wise, that alien is now jettisoned out of the space station. We are now just trying to get back to our friends. Ripley is saying some rather choice words towards Marshall Waite, who was the one who actually ejected the space
Yep.
station. Ripley
It's
is
okay,
not
it's
happy,
Italian.
I mean, understandably. But
So here we go. Here's force pickup number 5, I believe.
yeah, we
Use
have
the
a
shotgun.
This weapon is awesome. It's so good. It can be used to pretty much one-shot androids. It will one-shot humans with a good enough shot. It can be used to temporarily stun
Got
the
the
alien
mystery
with
door.
a really well-placed shot.
mystery
Unfortunately, we
door
only get
coming
4
up.
bullets.
I heard a boop. It is a single double android. Oh, and I can split the gun.
nice.
That was nice.
Fantastic. So that
We're
mystery
lucky they
door
don't
can
come in the
have
elevator,
so
otherwise
many
we solve them all.
combinations of things. You can
Nice.
get 1 android, you can get 2 androids, you can get humans, you can get friendly
Or
humans.
everything.
You can get nothing. You can get everything.
Amusingly, the only really bad one is just humans. Because if there's humans and androids, the humans aren't shooting us, they're shooting the androids.
Yeah, if it's just humans, they're shooting us, then that's a problem. A big problem.
The running's blessed if you get nothing. Sometimes we shoot at the door that we leave through to get into that, and it's like the blessed door or something like that, but it doesn't actually affect anything. It's literally RNG as soon as you walk into that room.
Ci vediamo al dipartimento.
So the funny thing is, remember how we talked about how the revolver humans are very deadly and the shotguns are a joke? What's so funny is for the player character, it's flipped. So for us, the shotgun is a legendary weapon. We can even cancel the trigger thing.
recoil.
You can cancel that so we can rapid fire the shotgun. It does a boatload of damage if you get a point blank range. And versus the revolver's kind of dinky. It's good for a droid cancel. It's good for a lure. It's good for blowing up canisters. Like, that's about it. Totally flipped. It's a very strange discrepancy in the game.
Speaking of lore, actually, so since we've come back onto Sevastopol, the main core AI of Sevastopol has had their priorities changed to now attack everything on site. So,
Reminder.
yeah, save here, yeah.
Yep. This is my go-to.
Amazing.
Shouldn't need this save, but if I don't do the save, I'm gonna have needed to save. Is the marathon rule. It's like a variation of Murphy's. If you can safety save and you don't safety save, then you would have needed the safety save.
Yeah, so there's this
As we
revolver
saw in,
human
Mission
who
10.
can be at any range when we go through the door. There's a few strats which you can do to lure him, but it's
I
quite
gotta show off
dicey
which
because there
strat I
are
chose for this
civilians.
run. So I missed the wall.
There's also a very
hitting the
strange...
wall with maintenance jack is surprisingly more difficult than you would imagine.
There's
we should speak
certain
of this quickly.
One time as well, when it comes to this, where if we take too long here, there are androids that will start killing humans, and that counts damage.
Oh,
That's a reload.
What did I do?
It's the same frame that they grab you, so that will have dealt 21%.
You should reload.
Yeah, you should reload.
I've never had that bug.
I've never seen that either.
He said
Yeah,
it.
What
the same
just
frame.
happened?
So it means that the fuel or the flames are connected to the android at the same frame that the grab went through. So it counts as you
That's
breaking free.
wild.
It isn't a marathon run without. I've
So I hit
never had
something
that
framed
before.
at 200
Drax, would you say that?
FPS.
Would you say that's never happened before?
That, in fact, for me, that's never happened before. That is 100%. I did not know you could do that.
I've unfortunately
I
had that
feel-
far too many times.
Hey, chat,
That
you did
is
the
so
thing.
cool. Well, okay, so that's why we took the safety save. Oh, he's close already. Oh, no, he's not close enough.
Oh,
I saw 50. My tracker pulled the civilian, not the human. So, okay, third time's the charm. Again, this is the same. This is not a super hard section. It's just for some reason it chaotically goes wrong every time I do a marathon.
It's one of those sections which, when it goes right, it feels effortless. But when the game just wants to mess with you, it can be brutal. Revolver humans are, as you just saw, immensely punishing.
Yep, I have
It's just one shot.
42.7 health, and yet 42.7 health, and yet that still one-shots me.
Yeah. So revolvers do a minimum at maximum range of 40%. Anything farther than minimum range, and it deals 50, 60, or 100%, which is much more health than we have.
Whoa, my gosh, I missed the flamethrower burst. Dude, this is crazy. I promise I don't have a skill issue.
right, recenter, refocus. You got this, man.
Yeah.
I gotta lock in again, man.
It's a weird interaction with the androids because you just saw there that the android just walked alongside and didn't grab immediately. It's one of like the
Yeah,
weird
they were still
quirks.
aggroed on the humans there, I think is what happened. Which, that's why I'm trying to be really fast here as well, is if they kill all the civilians, we get another revolver human to spawn in a spot that is really hard to counter.
It's
So that's why I'm trying to get
extremely
past them
long
and get them aggroed on me as soon as possible. But it's a balance of getting the security guard to walk to me first, and it's just everything is chaos. Oh, that's pretty close. That's a comfortable.
Oh, no.
And that's the other frustration. Is if you hit a civilian, it also kills you.
We're showing all the
Dude,
ways it can go wrong right now.
I was so nervous about everything that could have gone wrong in this run, and all the missions I was trying to so diligently practice. And now it's mission 11 that is just. I swear it's not.
At least
it's not
Drax is
that
showing you the
hard.
dedication of being a speedrunner, doing this live, and just continuously going. So, still commendations regardless, my friends.
Thank you. It's one of those. It's not even frustrating. Like I forgot a strategy or I'm panicking. I am showing off literally every permutation of things that can go wrong in mission 11, such as a glitch I've never seen before. Okay,
Nice.
please don't run in front of me, civilians. Okay, android. Nice. There you go.
Nice.
See, that's all you have
sure you
to
don't
do.
take a punch
Ooh,
hit.
that's gonna be close.
Yeah.
You're good. Well done. Really well done.
Ooh.
So having the androids lock
Had
onto
a
us here
bit of
is
a not
beneficial.
locked in moment for him.
If we can prevent the androids from killing the humans, it means that it will delay any potential spawn of a second revolver human. It just makes it safer for us, which is exactly what we want. Ooh,
Yep,
that's a
that's
nightmare.
a-
I guess I
no.
won.
Prime
Wait,
example.
yes.
Yeah, Nightmare
That's one of those
Joe's.
moments of, had I flamed him, he would have then immediately grabbed me afterwards. So I'm just gonna go long and
Yeah.
see
Yeah,
if
good
I
idea.
feel well, I've got it.
Nightmare Joe's
Just because it is a little low than I want. We're at 71. So that's basically 3 more bursts.
71 should be comfortable.
4 maybe.
So we have this ammo from now on until when we give our weapons up away in mission 13.
Mission
So
13
that's-
Wait,
is
no
a
sniper? I didn't
godsend
hear the
for us.
tracker. Nice. Okay,
Yeah,
we're
fine.
good.
Good.
We're fine.
Well done.
Good.
So in mission 17, oh sorry, not 17, 13, we have to give away our weapons, but as a result, they get refilled. And so it's why we're so liberal when it comes to using our fuel here. We're not saving any for the late game because we get a second lot of everything. And goodness me, without that second lot of everything, this run would be obscene.
Yeah, crazy hamburger for sure.
God, I knew you were going to do it at one point. Come on, man.
You can never stray from the light of the crazy hamburger. Even though we
didn't
can't
even
do the
get to show
crazy
it up in this
hamburger
run.
glitch in this category.
So here we're going to meet up with Ricardo. And Ricardo has not had the best of days because everyone else is dead.
All my friends are dead. All my friends are dead. I was waiting to
this
sing
game
that
can be
song.
a
I've been
little
thinking
bit
about it all
violent
day,
at
man.
times.
Samuels.
There's an alternative route you can go where if you because when you leave this area, you'll hit you basically hit the trigger to spawn androids, and if you go an alternative way, you miss that trigger, and there'll be no
That's actually a
androids.
new one for me. I was not aware of that.
Oh,
Yeah, some people decide to go back the way we came. It's a bit longer and does lose some time, but as a result, it means that there are no androids on the exit, which can save resources. Generally, we can kite them around and it's not too big a deal because androids can't run, they just walk. Which means that as long as there's nothing else to deal with, we can just run around and kite them away, and they're not a huge threat.
Surely
So,
this isn't
yeah.
the first time that I missed the shotgun shell in forever, too.
We're hoping, because there are a bunch of random spawns here, we're hoping that an android doesn't appear just midway down the stairs, because that can be really nasty to
It's
try and line
such
up
a
a
hard
shot.
shot to make. I mean, I know I don't play shooters or anything, but nice.
Perfect.
Okay, that's good. He's usually in the stairs for me too, but he's
The
in the
other one
back.
is
All
like
the way at the back. Amazing.
right by the button.
I'll still get him out of the way for good measure.
Oh, no.
Like, wow, I got the nice free easy shot, and then okay, mission 11 is just not my mission today.
Gli androidi li hanno massacrati.
It's a good
I've
dramatic
already-
that
yeah,
The
this will
save.
be
dialogue,
safe,
because
and
the
then-
dialogue's reset, you may want to go the exit, just the other exit.
Waits la
Surely
madonna
don't mess it up
folla.
twice in a row, right?
Devo trovarlo. Hai visto Taylor o Marlo?
No.
Ok. Riccardo.
Yeah, I'll recall mission 11, the chaos mission. Everything else will be flawless for sure.
For sure.
Mi servono occhi e orecchie.
Non ci resto qui, cazzo.
Riccardo, ho bisogno che tu lo faccia. Puoi presidiare la stazione.
Yeah, that's I was just worried about the stair. I'm like, okay, nice, I got the easy shot, and then of course,
Resta qui. Chiudi i portelli e non far entrare nessuno. Guidami. Tornerò presto.
man, that was such a goof. It's because I got so nervous about it.
It's fine, buddy. It's fine.
Like,
in
oh,
all
man, yeah, I
fairness,
don't wanna-
in all fairness, the androids, like when they do come towards you, as we saw earlier on, they can kind of like glitch in place. They can move ways that you're not predicting. So again, the shots that we do end up taking, as we saw, sometimes can miss. It's not entirely our fault. It's always the game's fault. It's always the game's fault.
It's always game's fault.
They do get kind of flinchy sometimes, and so I'm gonna blame that. That's why the stairs is so hard. And I'm lucky 2 times in a row.
Oh, good spawn. Well done.
Okay, new strategy. Hear me out.
Good idea.
Hear me out.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I save, but actually, is he not even aggroed on me?
Oh,
No.
no. He's just chill.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Oh, they're both down
Okay,
here
with 2
anyway,
of them,
and I
you
need
probably
the
want to
extra
just kite
shell.
them.
So we're gonna do a bit of silly business.
yeah, while it's okay to use 1 shotgun shell here, we really would rather not use 2.
Yep, I need two. My shotgun shells are all accounted for already. Gonna run them back this way again.
Yeah, we need to save some ammo so we can kill an android for a key card in the next mission, which is very important.
So that looked like I actually knew what I was doing there. That's crazy. Yeah, best strategy for not. As I actually have an extra shotgun shell too, which would be nice if I mess up one of those in the keycard room. Which again, in my practice, I haven't messed up yet. So far the run has been anything I messed up dearly in practice has gone almost flawlessly. So far, all the things that went flawlessly in practice have been chaotic. So this run is definitely an interesting one.
Hey Drake, so you're supposed to be playing in isolation. You're actually playing Reversey.
Yeah, right. Nice thing is, I did go the right direction out of the tram that time. That's for some reason mission 12 is the one I always do backwards.
Sei tu al comando ora.
I mean, not always, but if I'm gonna mess it up, it's there. And then the elevator coming up too, I also stand on the wrong door half the time. I'm thinking about it already though, so surely we're fine. So here's another key code as well that we have to get. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier on, like that we do get to reuse, or this game reuses a lot of the same areas. So we basically went to the same area that we went to in Mission 5, but instead of going through the door on the left, we went across the way and into the next room door.
Yeah, this is the medical, the sci-tech, science and medical.
This is where we ended Mission 7.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Every time, I got the key code real perfect first try too.
Nah, that's all right.
I wasn't locked in there, I guess.
So the faster way for us to actually input those keypads is with the numpads. Otherwise, you'd be doing up, down, left, right, and then pressing spacebar on the actual thing. So it's nice that the devs have given us easier numerical input on those keypads.
Next thing is, there's one in Mission 14 that we have to do with the arrow keys, though.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, true.
Yeah, just one. To really throw us for a loop.
Now, will we get the Superman glitch here? That's the next question.
There's a glitch here.
I don't even want to say it because I didn't mess it up in practice, but now pressure's on again.
By interacting with the prompt multiple times, we essentially displaced our camera multiple times as well. And it means that we can get,
There we go.
Nice.
Our camera's super weird, but it allows us to actually look rather than being locked in an animation. And it means we can go in the vent faster than usual.
It's like a second save?
It saves around like 2 seconds,
yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's a really nice time save to get, but not like run killing if you don't get it.
I'm going to save the fuel on this droid just because I really don't have a whole lot of bursts left.
Yeah.
So the usual technique is light this guy on fire because he's one of the grabby guys. My technique is just run past right now because I don't
done
trust
that
that I have enough
before.
bursts. And again, this is another one of those shotgun shells on Android that it's not that hard of a shot, but when I get nervous, I'm bound to miss it. So for the sake of a marathon run, we can do the safety save right here. Bit of a silly spot for the safety save, but worst case scenario, I mess up this shot or I mess up the Mission 12 or the keycard room shot. I'll have a save to come back to.
Yeah, having a save is always better than not.
Yeah. There's been so many times when I've done this mission, and when you get to the row of androids and you accidentally you take a death there, then you have to go all the way back to the beginning of the mission, and you have to do the climb over the stairs and go up the ladder, and you got to go across the thing again. It's just such a long, repeated, arduous journey. So just save where you can.
Yeah,
honestly,
it just takes a bit too much time.
This mission as well
he's doing the stuff too.
Oh, speaking of the save,
The androids are just being crazy today, man. So yeah, he was all flinchy when I was going for the shot, and I still missed the direct headshot. So when people ask me to play like Apex with them or something, this is why I don't.
just link them this VOD, right?
Yeah, seriously. I swear I do sometimes make some of these shots. I promise I have actually not missed before.
I mean, anyway, it's an interesting way to do this room.
Yeah, there is the option of saving the shotgun shot by doing this conduit first. It does lose about 5-6 seconds. However, it means that the android will never actually get close enough, so we can save the shotgun shot. There we go.
There we go.
That's what's supposed to happen. It's a shot and then he's one hit away.
Yeah, so unfortunately in Nightmare, shotgun shots, even if perfect, can't quite one-shot an android. which means we have to follow up with a wrench hit. On all the lower difficulties, the shotgun can one-shot the androids. However, for us, it means that we have to actually go in, see the wrench animation. You can peek cancel the wrench animation, but you still have to go for the wrench, and it means that we've got to get up close and personal, and if it's even a tiny bit of the shotgun shot misses, you won't have enough damage. You'll go for the second wrench swing, and he'll just grab you.
It's always depressing when you go for the second wrench swing.
I know. Yeah. You'll see the first wrench swing, see the second come out, and you're like, oh no.
What's funny, or maybe not funny, is how many runs I've lost to this next section here. And it's the exact same thing. I've got a shotgun wrench on this guy in the left corner. And he's standing perfectly still. And I still have a habit of missing it. So I'm going to stand over here to lure them, and then we're going to do a very tight pull around and dodge the punches just barely.
Well done.
Nicely done.
Finally, it looks like I practiced again.
Yeah, so we kind of just skipped this entire area by knowing which android has the key card, because normally you would have to like do a whole sequence where you turn the gas on, the androids will walk through the flames, and then you have all the androids. Like if you had all the androids to kill in low percent, that would make this category horrendous.
That's supposed to set you up for a big fight scene, and usually it's one of those scripted loot places that totally sets you for the rest of the run. In any other category, I guess maybe not any percent, but in any other category except since we're on low percent, we can't grab it, so we can't go back. So it's just one of those. I'm very glad at least that we know where the key card is, because that room would be nightmarish if we had to take out the androids.
These gas vents here will deal damage to us if we stand in them while they're actually active. So we need to be quite careful to not take damage from them. The damage is really quite rapid, and given our health is already quite low, we just have to wait if they're on while we're getting close to them. And
usual technique is just to push through them anyway.
Yeah.
Because a full vent, the time it takes you to pass over a full vent will do 14% of your damage. 14% of your health is damage. And so usually, right, you have plenty of health. That's a med kit if you get hit by all three of them here. And usually the cycle will be that you don't get hit by all three. Looks like
Nice
I got a really good
cycle.
cycle here anyway.
Really good.
Speaking of which. But again, we need every single percent of health we can spare for mission 16. So I'm still at 42.7, and I intend to stay that way.
Another safety save coming up as a reminder, because
thank you, because this is the one I skipped
section
past.
coming up where we have 6 androids in total, all of who really don't want us to be there. And
this is one where you can take a punch. I'll have to reload if I take that punch.
So our plan is to try and line of sight the androids and stealth play it after weirdly just running past everything.
I mean, we're waking up the androids, and of course they're going to be angry, right? They're in like a deep sleep.
They're an android. Supposedly you just have to flick a switch and immediately go back to sleep.
Mate, if only it was that easy. Come on.
So basically we want to be extremely fast on this hack to avoid the punch. Come on.
Yeah, nice.
Well done.
That one had me tensed up, man, that's for sure. I messed up that last symbol just a little bit.
So you saw Dre walk a little bit to the right just after the hack, so that it just made sure that he was completely out of the range of any kind of like form of attack.
More often than you would think, you'll get exactly the timing where he goes for a punch as you're coming off the hack, and he will whiff the punch. That hit totally necessary. Just want to prove that Samuels is an android, because see, he sounds like metal when you hit him.
So the fun fact is actually that there's like an invisible barrier on that door that still acts as the door if it's closed. So it sounds like the metal. Sorry to break the illusion, Dre. I just wanted to say what the actual thing was.
It's Samuels. He's made out of metal. He's an android.
Samuels is he's just a door.
You guys are non-believers. You just don't believe in Santa Claus either.
Let's not touch down that route.
By the way, another fun thing is, this is one of those dialogue sequences where we just have to wait for the talking, the objective to go through. So there's 2 interesting things. If we had to reload enough times, sometimes we'll get a dialogue glitch where the dialogue file just doesn't load in. When that happens, it just skips this dialogue and it goes straight to the objective activating. Very interesting. Like about 30-second time save that we have to tack on at the end of the run if it happens. Unavoidable glitch otherwise. The other one is I have to be looking at Samuels or otherwise this won't progress until it's time to go. So that's why I'm staring there very diligently, is because it's go time.
Samuels is a bit of a drama queen in that sense that if you aren't directly looking at him, sometimes he'll just freeze his dialogue. And he'll just wait for you to say, okay, no, I'm looking at you. Don't worry, you can continue.
It's like, attention to me. I am talking over here.
I am the one who is the star of the show here. Why are you
I'm the one
looking
who
at me?
knocks. So the fun thing about this puzzle here is that, like, he's trying to basically tell you, hey, you need to go and find this specific breaker so that you can flip it off. But it's all color based, but literally it's all a clockwise
it's always
situation.
the same order, and it's the most predictable order possible.
And they obviously throw that red light on you to try to obscure you seeing which color it is, but again, just clockwise, easy.
And if you speak Italian, you'll be able to pick up on Samuels is explaining to us cable red, cable blue, green cable. Oh no, the lights went off. Deactivated Android. Final one. But yeah, definitely. I mean, in terms of casually playing, when the time is on, the pressure's on, it can definitely be a bit of an exciting one, maybe a stressful one is the one to go for. So I do appreciate the appeal to being rushed for this one.
You can take a safety save here as well if you want by going through the left door. Most of the time it's not needed. But
See, now that you said it, I probably should.
probably should
didn't
just be
want
safe
to.
because that section's really long. The door baits you can go through it. Just on the right there, behind.
Ah, yes. So, for context, I have not practiced safety safe, because again, I haven't needed it for practice, but now that we mentioned it, now that it's an option,
For
I'm going to
marathon
need it if I don't
safety.
take it. So.
Because having to take a punch here or a grab is extremely punishing.
Yeah, same one, right? We just cannot afford these punches.
Because everyone who's run low percent has been punched, grabbed here. Androids are just so unpredictable, difficult to work with, that even though we didn't need it, it's just safer to take it.
I wonder if
That
you
was
actually could
still
have
a
got.
weird enough grab that I probably would have messed it up had I not taken it.
Yeah,
That one made me panic a bit. Fun fact here, we mentioned binding mouse wheel to scroll. Don't scroll on this or you fall through it.
Fammi sentire.
I think you can technically press this with the keyboard twice fast
You
enough to
can,
fall
yeah.
through.
Yeah, you
as well,
can.
but
I've done that before, yeah.
you can also reach it from outside the cart so the cart leaves without you.
That's a fun one.
I've
It's a
definitely seen
very,
people
very flawed
lose
little
so
bit.
much time because they press the button too early and the cart just leaves and they're like, oh no.
Different category. I had a world record pace run that I lost because I grabbed the button outside the tram. I still get nightmares about Mission 12 from that one.
So again, this would be the relevant time that we would go to the coined loot haven, collecting all the things from that area, but again, can't do it. Low percent, fun times.
Yep, instead the exciting view of staring at a tram. Supposedly this is one you can go out of the range of the tram and come back in, and then I stopped and forgotten that. Now about the time is gonna about balance out anyway, so we're just gonna watch the tram. Why not?
Ho sentito.
Yeah. It's almost as exciting as watching paint dry, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now the real
Paint
question,
drying with a timer going though. That's the key difference.
is it more or less exciting than Mission 9?
More.
More exciting because I don't have to do anything. Right, Mission 9, I still have to hold W and like pay attention to where I'm
Yeah,
walking.
that's true. At least now you can kind of take your hands off the keyboard, relax a little.
Exactly. Now I
breathe.
can get a drink of caffeine and just lock in.
It's not the sense of impending doom of High Store Meeks refusing to show up in time.
So true.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we're going
That was
into mission 13, where we give up our weapons.
So I gave up my flamethrower with 51 fuel left.
And there it goes.
Gone.
Doesn't make a difference. I just, you can. But and I actually have 2 shells left over too, so I can show the reload.
The only thing we
So that's
cannot
the peak
waste
for
here,
the reload.
because we
cancel
don't lose
as
the
well.
stun baton. And so it's so important to not just get into
Yes, the stun
mindset
baton is
like,
the
yeah, no,
carry
just
over.
use everything.
It's picky on what the detector picks up, you know.
Yeah.
It's just, we could have, pipe bombs, and it's fine.
Figuriamoci.
The way this essentially works is any stuff that's currently loaded will kind of just get lost. In a regular run, any stuff that's unloaded or ammo you have spare flamethrower fuel, will get saved as well. So one thing we try and teach new runners, especially early on, is if you can avoid it, don't reload your flamethrower before mission 13, because you'll carry the fuel over later. Whereas if you do reload, you won't get to carry that fuel over. For low percent, it's not relevant, but it's one of those considerations.
Yeah, low percent, all the fuel comes with the flamethrower, so that's what you get, right? But yeah, like that, those extra fuel blobs we found in mission 10, those are so nice because you can use those late game when you have to have one fully loaded flamethrower last so much more of the game. Nice thing is we have a shotgun, which will have some fun strats later on, and I'm very excited to show up mission 14.
Mission 14's where things start getting really spicy.
Mission 14 is probably one of the worst missions for low percent.
Yeah, very,
I'm gonna be
very
honest.
14 is genuinely my favorite mission of the entire run. So I practiced it the most, and I was telling my commentator friends here that I'm gonna do a strat, and you guys are just gonna have to be mad at me for it because it's very risky. But my shot accuracy right now is making me a little bit more nervous than I want to be. My track record's not been very great today.
So coming up, we're going to enter a section with tons of androids. And there's one android in particular that can be in our way. Fortunately, however, by saving and reloading just once we're done with this vent sequence, the android will never be in our way. And that's so good because if it's in our way, we essentially have to take a punch. And by saving and reloading and forcing it out of our way, we can just completely avoid that punch RNG entirely.
Yes, this is another save point that I do forget to grab, to be totally honest, so thank you for mentioning it.
Yeah,
Because again, yet another one of those moments of we cannot afford the health yet, because we might effectively soft lock ourselves later on in the game.
Wait, which mission?
Mission 16 is one of those places where it's not scripted damage, but it's near impossible to avoid damage because there's just so much going on, so many enemies, that you kind of have to accept that you will take a bit of damage. It's a case of mitigating what damage we have to take, but by preserving our health early on, it means that we have the most amount of health possible and we can tank as much damage as possible so that we have the greatest chance of actually succeeding in Mission 16.
Yeah, a weird quirk of this hack is when you do it, androids that are far away from you will just despawn.
Oh, you've got Joe
from the
despawned.
map. Yeah.
So all of the androids have just despawned because Dre did the hack so fast that the androids essentially were on top of each other and it just forced despawned everything. So it means that this exit is completely safe.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was really rushing for that one. I was of all
It's
the
so
hacks
good
to
to
lock
get.
in for.
You're
I didn't want to
cruising
deal with the
now.
droid and the exit there as well. Because truthfully, I forgot which of the little terminals to press on yellow side or orange side. So I'm like, I have to go blue side, and if I have the droid in the way, I don't know what to do.
So these are
not gonna talk
minigames.
about that.
There are 3 types of minigames. There are white, yellow, and green. Green minigames are so slow that we just exit off of them because it takes so long to complete. Yellow minigames can be fine. They're kind of RNG. Sometimes they
They're
can be the
easy to
fastest
choke,
thing in the world.
but yeah.
But sometimes they just take ages. White minigames are universally considered to be the best because there's very little RNG in them. They're very quick. And in general, it's just pretty easy to do. The minigames also have a weird little quirk where if you get a minigame and exit off of it, you're guaranteed to not get that minigame next time. This also means if you do a minigame successfully, you're guaranteed to not get that color of minigame the next time you do minigames. And this is especially relevant in the upcoming Mission 14 because we have to do 4 minigames back to back to back to back. And we're essentially praying that we don't get too many green minigames.
I remember one time that I think I got. I think at one time I got like nearly 5 or 6 greens in a row.
It was my practice run just a couple days ago.
It's
which
so
is the worst
painful.
possible RNG.
So my favorite RNGs to realize I only, you get a really good time for 14, and then you lose it all to the minigames.
Yep. The minigames are
What's really
unfortunately
funny
a big
is-
RNG point.
Bit of a fun personal anecdote. When I was first casually playing this game, again, wasn't really big into speedruns at the time, but one of the very first things I asked, I wonder how speedrunners do this, was how do they do the green minigame fast? And the biggest shock to me, the best shock to me ever was learning they don't.
Just no.
It's you just reset for it. Yeah, it was in mission 4. I don't know why that's such a core memory for me right now, but yeah, mission 4, I had the green minigame, like, I wonder how speedrunners do this. Oh, by the way, this is mission 14 now. It's a bit of one of the longer ones. There's multiple sections to it, but hopefully, if you guys know anything about me, you'll be able to figure out why it's my favorite mission if you don't already know. Or if you know the game, you might be excitedly awaiting this one.
What's the second part? Absolutely.
In terms of it works with you, end of this mission makes for a pretty good break point. I know you mentioned doing a second break in here.
Yeah, that works for me.
Cool. Let me remember I'm on mode percent here as well.
Yeah,
almost forgot that I'll need to be stealthy.
There are a lot of enemies here, and unfortunately for us, there's also a lot of times where we have to be stealth. And that makes things really, really difficult because we have to wait so much and also put ourselves in harm's way. Here, for example, we're having to trigger the camera. We have to go through this animation of picking up the final gas torch upgrade. And all the while, there's an android that is looking for us. And if he sees us and starts coming after us, it's really bad because we now have to use that gas torch upgrade on this panel. And you can see the difference in speed compared to the first one. We'll be flying through this panel.
Yeah.
However, it's still
Very
so
similar
much
vibe to
time.
Mission 8, though.
Exactly.
The android's on us. We basically we're stuck.
It's a forced reload at this point.
See, any other category, we'll be using an EMP to try to electrify the android, and so that we could just cut this freely. But again, low percent, we have to be so careful.
Yeah, that EMP would be guaranteed with the loot you get in Mission 12 for the android fight you're supposed to fight. No, we get to use the loot later because we don't need to do the fight. It's pretty awesome. But yeah, no MP mine in this category.
I like the
android's in a world of its own.
This room is terrifying on low percent.
This one definitely has some shenanigans with this droid. Fortunately, again, since the droids walk, they lose you pretty easy with a bit of crouch hopping on your side, but it's still one of those you need to get lucky if you want to do this room perfectly. I did my air quotes early because I was running out of time.
This is one of those sections where we do just have to play it stealthy and go around. We can't let the droid start properly engaging in combat.
Oh, no.
It's just a straight reload.
Exactly what we mean. Sometimes
we
he's
have no
just
way
there.
of killing the android. You may notice that we still do have a stun baton charge. However, we have to save it for mission 16. There's no way of getting around it.
Yep.
You can technically work around it, but it's so much time lost. It's in the realm of minutes. So we really, really, really want to avoid using the stun baton charge here, which is the other primary place that we'd want to use it.
Ooh.
You should be okay.
I didn't even notice he hadn't moved yet. I should have been more locked in.
No, you're good, because for whatever reason, that central thing has a huge line of sight block. So he's currently in the kind of investigating phase, where he hasn't seen us yet. He's now been alerted to us. We're trying to lure him and keep him around the back of this little trolley trailer while we do this final little conduit. And then we'll sneak away to this generator while he's still investigating.
You're making me nervous.
This section is terrifying.
I'm clenching.
And so
Your
he's now...
Your hands are shaking.
Perfect. We need to get him under the tank as quickly as possible.
Let's go.
Okay, there we go.
Really well done.
Okay.
Almost perfectly done.
That section's
And then we have another section after this.
Yep.
Yeah,
More of these shenanigans coming up. This one's a little more consistent, I like to think.
Yeah, it is.
I think the world record run has him blocking the exit, which is a very rare pattern. So we could get some extra silliness. You never know. Again, it's a marathon. Anything can happen. The game will break in brand new ways.
The game crashing you, so there's been many things already, so it's all good. It's all good.
There's a very weird bug here where if you start running immediately after this door, the androids that just go through that little gate can just freeze and not go through at all.
Like
Good
they
recovery,
just did.
really
I
well
even
done.
did the walk and the look down and everything, and I still.
Because if they don't go through, the game will never actually update the objective and you will soft lock. You can wrench them to force them through, but then they're aggro and they won't despawn, and then you just have a whole new issue. We didn't mention these guys before, but these are Super Joes. They're wearing a hazmat suit, and they are much, much, much tankier than the regular working Joes. And they are a
Don't
problem.
touch E during this locked-in cutscene. Okay, this is the key code that we have to enter with arrow keys, and I hit the wrong thing.
So Super Joes, in terms of just regular game playthroughs, are weirdly immune to EMPs and stuns and all of that fun stuff. So they're meant to just be much, much, much harder to deal with. In a low percent run, they are our worst nightmare. They deal extra damage, they have substantially more health. So punches from these guys, unlike regular androids, deal 11%, meaning we can only take 3 punches, unlike the 4 we could take from regular androids. Their grabs deal 22%, which means they 2-shot us. It's just all around a bad time. If
And
you're
there's a bunch
perfect
in the
with shotgun
reactor.
shots, it takes 3 headshots to actually kill them.
Mai stato al reattore.
And yeah, these
Yeah,
guys are just
they're a
nasty.
little slow. They do walk slower still, though.
They
They're
do,
kind
yeah.
of the games like these are the tanked up droids, and they force you to be stealthy. Because killing them is not a practical use of loot unless you're a novice, and even then,
Even then, it takes an alarming amount of loot.
right. So here's the new weapons that it does force you to pick up again. So thankfully, low percent is not nearly as bad as it could.
Save.
Save has probably
And
a
I'm
good
gonna do
idea.
one of
save,
these as well.
save.
Again, just the mission full of safety saves. I hit no because there's another fun bug in the game. Sometimes it does a weird. This prompt is a weird input where it'll flinch back around if your mouse is in the middle of the screen, even if I don't touch my mouse.
Nice.
So I'm gonna be silent here until about 2/3 of the way down, and I'm gonna try to get this android to walk in this wide zone so we can walk straight past it.
We're going
See,
to
if
be
we had a
trying
bolt
to
gun right
use
now.
Cancels.
If we had a
Yes,
bolt
I
gun,
need the bolt gun for later.
Yeah.
It might be a bit too soon. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that
this will be
is
tight.
too
This will be
close.
tight.
Might just have to grab cancel here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nope, that's a
shame.
bummer.
Yeah, it's
It's all right. The timing, that tram is always slower than you think it is, and the droid sometimes doesn't react when he should, and vice versa. So
Do you want to smack
That's
when
hard to
he's by the box?
yeah. If you hug the left corner and then try and line him up with the box a little. Front left corner.
okay.
That now's good.
That's a pretty cool technique. I didn't know.
I'm learning new things as well. Nice.
Oh yeah, this looks perfect. He turned around right away too. That was the one that I usually get stuck on. Is he likes to be a bit feisty with not turning around. All right, so now I
Nice.
see this guy on this side.
So we'll have
One
to
and
grab
two on the other
cancel.
side.
Okay.
Perfect, well done. Good RNG. You can get those androids in a really annoyingly spaced out position where we can grab cancel 1, and grab canceling gives us a weird little quirk, which means you're immune to being grabbed for 10 seconds. And what this will do is it will result in androids trying to punch you. Punching still isn't ideal for us because we still need the health. And
Yeah,
that would
and
force us
you
to take
can't-
11%.
Can't revolver cancel a punch.
No,
Interesting.
punches will armor through everything. They're
They
just,
just keep
they are
on.
dedicated.
So that's why I was looking for which side only had one android, and that's why also I needed to lure the first guy around because otherwise I do the grab cancel and then I walk through an android that will always try to punch me.
We're in.
So I just
the
walk
fun
past the
section.
flamethrowers because it doesn't force you to pick it up there, but it will up here. So yeah,
This also has the added benefit of there's no extra loot up here, so there's no risk of accidentally looting something that's unnecessary. Whereas at the
well,
starting
I
spawn
could
of the
have actually grabbed the
flamethrower,
church bag.
there's quite often extra bits of loot that are easy to pick up. We also despawned a facehugger there, which is super helpful because it saves us a burst of fuel. And here, we are going to start
Dang.
encountering our good old friend.
Are you gonna do what I think? Yep.
Oh. Oh god.
I
Love
disapprove
that,
of the
man.
resource use, but it is cool.
See, normally runners would do on different runs would do flame bursting like about halfway out of that corridor, but Dre has just been super balls to the walls and just shotgunning, putting me on a
So-
nervous state again. Goddamn.
In low percent, you'd want to use more strats, which would use less fuel. just to save it for later missions.
Fuel is so valuable later.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Good, well done.
See him drifting around the
spicy.
corner.
Here, we would usually shoot a bullet. In low percent, we can just whack the wrench to make noise in this room as well. What this does is this area cannot be accessed by the aliens, so making noise here essentially puts it into a state of, hey, I can't get to the player at the moment. I'm going to make the assumption if I upbend, I can get to the player. Here, we're essentially grabbing the alien's aggro, but as it can't get to us, it will upbend. This is a scripted alien as well, so it won't redrop. There are two types of
He
aliens.
didn't
One's a
go the
scripted
way
one,
I was
one's a
hoping he
roaming
would,
one.
though, so this is a little shady.
And now at any times an alien can drop, even if you walk.
This one is always the nerve-wracking one because they can spawn behind you at any given time. You've got to try to figure out which side they're coming from, and you're using your audio cues massively here.
Got very lucky there.
Golden nest, let's go.
Perfect, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, unlucky.
That
not
was an
being able to-
unlucky burst, but he did not hesitate, so that's going to cost me later. I really didn't want it to burst there. I thought he would hesitate. I thought I could get in. I would have usually done a shotgun shell there because all I need to do is get to the vent, but yeah, that was really unlucky timing, all things considered.
We do budget in for those bursts there, so it's not the end of the world.
yep, you're golden. Let's go, nice.
Well done, really well done. Clean nest.
Right.
All right,
And
so
we go
mission,
from the frying
like-
pan into the fire. Reactor is the next section, and goodness me, it doesn't get any easier because we now have
nice thing
4
is
Super Joes.
you do get an auto save right there.
Yes, thank goodness. So our goal here is to kill at least 2 or 3 of these Super Joes. The only requirement here loot-wise is we must save at least 1 shotgun shell. That much is not really debatable. We need it for mission 17.
We should also define what the differences are between the normal androids and these coin Super Joes. Is that the fact that they're wearing sort of like EMP suits, like protective, so that if we were to try to use any kind of form of EMP, they would not get stunned by it at all?
Well, 2 good mini games in a row. I'm
All right.
actually so far ahead that the androids aren't quite close enough. And I haven't used the shotgun shells yet because they were in a weird pattern, which is why I got punched.
Yeah.
I think I accidentally grab canceled with the bolt gun because I waited just a bit too long. So I can afford that 1 punch here,
One is
but
fine.
really can't do much.
No, another punch would force a reload. But this
Yo.
is looking pretty good.
Oh.
And a green makes that extra sketchy. Come on, please.
Oh, nice. Too
Wow.
good. Very, very close.
Come on, game. Don't do it to me now.
2 greens
Okay.
is pretty average.
That is an interesting way to play Reactor.
That was a very
aggressive.
stressful one. Okay, for what it's worth, I've had a lot of consistency with Reactor like that, but weird droid pattern for sure. So very improv. I actually didn't use the shotgun shells I expected to use, which honestly might help us out.
Here on the exit, I'd recommend just playing it slow.
Yep, I'm gonna wait for him to burn,
Yeah,
ideally.
it's much safer.
Yeah, sounds good.
We have to save the hell. Having an extra 6 shotgun shells is going to make the late game easier, though.
So this bit is scripted. So essentially, after a certain amount of time, the androids are just going to go up in flames, which makes it easy for us to go out to the exit. There we go.
So that's another thing of
Yep,
low
they
percent.
were usually I can at least get past these guys, so I don't wait around quite as long. But I'll
Yeah, there
take
was no way you were
I'll
getting
take
past
it. It's not a
those.
whole lot slower, and no punchies, no extra shots to take.
Yeah, so given we took a punch earlier, we're now down to 31%. And later on, that'll mean that we can only take 2 shotgun shots rather than the potential 3. Which means that mission 16
Well,
will
2
likely be a little
headshots
harder,
at least.
but it should be okay.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
only take 2
so
headshots. You know?
Because you didn't kill the androids with a shotgun, you now have access to more strats you can use.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
I can break out the shotgun for 16 humans, which might be what I need to do.
Yeah, definitely.
You can be very aggressive with the shotgun in 16 now, which is quite good.
Oh, we've got a chat
this
message
side.
from iFlipsy asking, what was the reason that we went to alpha first and not beta in the nest?
So most no major glitches runners will always do beta. For whatever reason, mission 14 being my signature mission or something, I have consistently better droid patterns if I go alpha. Because alpha, it's kind of hard to see in the locked-in cutscene, but the terminal right in front of Ripley and off to the left. Sorry, backwards. Terminal, yes, right in front of Ripley, off to the left, are the ones that activate with alpha, which are on this far side, and beta is the front two. So I find I'm consistently lucky if I bring the droids around the backside with me and then come in and snag beta like I did. Kind of right in the nick of time that time, but it worked out just barely.
Doing it the other way can be substantially safer, especially if you slow down and take the time to kill the androids, because that way you can kill 3 of them and ensure that you only have 1 following you. With 1 following you, you can very comfortably grab cancel it repeatedly, and you're at no risk of taking damage that way.
Nice thing is as well, if you're doing a route where you can have loot, going beta side first, we're likely to group together. Kind of like they did for me this time anyway. But they'll usually group together on beta side, and you can take all 3 of them out with 1 pipe bomb. But yeah, and so now we have more amazing tram stare down. I can kind of walk around and pretend I'm looting. Oh wow, look, an injector. That'd be so nice, because I can make a med kit out of that. Or how about, well, actually the loot's a little bit dry at the moment. Let's see what else we might have gotten in another life.
This is what you could have won behind door number 2.
Charge pack, okay, actually useless.
Yeah, so
Well, let's peek in a box here.
this will be the end of mission
Ethanol?
14.
And scrap, I think, is what that
So I don't know when you want to do the break.
Oh, yes, let's do it as soon as we load into 15. Or,
Yeah, so after this, we
perhaps
should
as soon as
have
we get to the
roughly...
Isadora might be the best timing for it, just because the game pauses really nicely there. No more, we get a break from Steve.
Yeah, from the Anisadora on,
Yeah.
just go as well.
So that would be my proposal. Let me not forget the Steve manipulation here. Soon as I start talking, we need to hit the tram 4 times.
That's if Steve is in range to hear. He might not have been.
Dannazione. Perché mi hai mandato qui?
Now
Sounds
we
pretty
should be in the
stumpy.
clear to run.
So what that does is similar
And-
to a nest. As the alien doesn't have a route to get to us, it kind of just chills in the vent for a bit and says, okay, well, surely there's a way to get to you from the vents. And that distracts him for long enough so that we can just run all the way to this door.
Ok,
It's a pretty nice little trick. Mission 17, as a bit of a spoiler, will have a very similar technique as well. It's much more aggressive on the tram, though.
Oh, just before we go for our break, Lipans wants to know, what was your personal interest on mission 14?
Oh, the nest. I love the nest. I love that you can do that shotgun shell. You can look like you're not scared, even though I was sweating bullets.
Here's one of those sections where we really want to make sure that the alien doesn't drop. And so by checking the tracker and hogging it to make sure that the alien is out of range before we start running, we can
really
make sure that he
fast
won't drop. The alien
Nice.
has a really kind of weird quirk where if you don't give it a reason to actually drop, generally it just won't drop. And the only other time it will drop is if you spend really long in any one section. Unfortunately for us, we tend to just fly through most sections.
I want to
Yeah,
say
that's a fun quirk of the
I want
behavior.
to say you've ran out of his range, but I'm not entirely sure.
You would
Yeah,
know by now.
I'm not used to being that fast there. I was a little doubtful, but I haven't heard any other blips, so I think we're okay.
Yeah, you're fine at this point. You would have
Fingers
known
crossed.
a good, 20 seconds ago.
Yeah.
So here's a nice tier 3 hack, which is always an exciting one. Get more signals and a tighter spot to actually find the where you roll around the side.
Nice.
And okay, with this is a very good spot for the break.
Right, okay.
This begins our Anisadora section.
So yeah, during these longer runs, everybody, we like to take breaks every hour or so. Just everybody get up straight, just get some water, anything y'all need to do. Just a quick reminder before we go to the break. You can tune in to GDQ's English restream of I think it's Speedruns, but it might be Speed-Ons. But Speedruns 2025, that's going to be February 27th through March 2nd. If you have any experience in any of the runs or are interested in commenting for any of the runs in English, you can use !Speed-Ons in chat to learn more, and you can apply before February 12th. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more of the run. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. Tonight, we're showcasing Alien Isolation Low Percent. I will hand it right back over to y'all whenever you're ready.
Well, sweet. All right, so where we left off, we were just about to do, I guess, the nice break part of Mission 15. So I just got to resume here, so I'll count down 3, 2, 1, resume. It's funny, because it's kind of a locked animation. But it felt like a pretty natural stopping spot, was my guess.
This is everybody getting back from the break and sitting down, ready to watch you run, mate.
Yeah, even Amanda Ripley sitting down, too. What's killing me is I'm probably going to go for the extra save in Mission 15.
Just do it. Just do it.
On any
Honestly,
planet,
don't blame
I
you.
shouldn't need to, but...
Look, we've all done it once before where, like, we go through Mission 15 and we take, like, an unfortunate death next to either the not running fast enough towards the exit or the little face hugger that's behind the boxes, and then we have to redo all of Mission 15, so just safety save.
Exactly. For me, it is always that face hugger. Like, when it happens, it's because one of those boxes, when it gets kicked up, is body blocking the face hugger, then my flamethrower doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm
frustrating.
certain everyone has died to these face huggers at least once.
It's one of those technically very easy. Should not cause any issues in the run. But
you know you're a
because it's
speedrunner when.
Yeah, right.
Right, so kind of like the law point here is that we're using the Seegson executive transport to travel over to the Anisadora, which is where we are now, where Marlowe actually basically took Taylor away, and now Taylor is kind of locked up in a bit of a holding cell. Fun little bit here is that, like, technically our camera detached from our bodies, so we were actually able to have, like, full 360 directional movement at that point of activating that lever. But we're now trying to get over to Marlowe and try to convince them, hey, don't be an idiot. Don't blow up the place. Like, I know blowing up things might be fun and they might kill the xenomorph, but it's not a good idea. So that's kind of our MO at the moment.
Such is the lore. Now, what actually happens is up for interpretation.
Yeah.
Or not interpretation, up for reveal, the grand reveal.
We've still got plenty of surprises left in store.
I feel like Mission 16 is bound to be.
Mission 16 is, generally speaking, the hardest part of a Nightmare Low Percent run.
But it's why we were so stingy about our health for all of the rest of the run, is because 16, it's next to impossible to not take any bullets. Even though just a couple shotgun shells, just like something.
All right, let's see how this facehugger wants to behave.
So the strategies I always like is try to kick over the boxes, and then he gets body blocked by the boxes.
That's
so I
good thing
somehow...
Yeah, very good thing.
Somehow I just had the weird feeling on that one. I feel like I'm just going to get terrible RNG. He was so early, though.
I like how we were putting a lot of focus on, like, oh yeah, people have died to this facehugger. We showed it off, yeah.
Yeah, so that's exactly what happens, right? The box fits exactly between myself and the hugger.
There we
so
go.
the flamethrower doesn't work. Oh my gosh, I hit the wrong button.
Quello che nessun altro è stato in grado di fare. Vieni qui, Ripley. Ho qualcosa per te.
All right, now it's just a long, treacherous run towards Marlowe. So,
a lot of right turns here.
Yeah. I love the fact that when we do, there's another category for this game called crouch clipping plus frame, CC plus FPS, where we can basically just fly all the way over towards the, well, I don't think we actually do it in, Do we actually fly towards Marlow, or we do
Yeah.
something here, don't we?
Yeah, so what you can do in the CCFPS, which is essentially the all glitches category, is you can clip out of bounds and just launch yourself towards Marlow in this room, land on top of the room and just drop into it.
It's so fun. CC
like a
plus
whole
FPS
different
any
game.
percent is a whole trip as well, isn't it?
Yes, goodness.
Yeah, or CCFP is 100%.
Oh.
It feels like it gives you good reason to not just do the 9-minute version of the game.
James can talk a
CCFPS
lot
Very
about that.
chaotic, very
wild.
exciting.
You see
Exciting.
some,
Maybe that's
some
what I gotta learn
glitches
next.
in 100% that you just don't see anywhere else in the game because you never really need them.
All right, so yet another moment of we could do a tiny bit of looting. If there were any loot, and since we have no loot, and we can't grab the loot anyway, sometimes speedrunners you just have to figure out a way to entertain yourself.
Così il reattore diventerà una
Yeah, there's
You're
like
gonna
a
go around in circles.
2-minute dialogue.
Yeah.
This is usually a bathroom break in the run.
That's true, yeah.
This is a good opportunity, yeah, if you've got a live timer going.
You do have to be quick about it though, because it's not the fastest amount of time. Like, you know, like the longest amount of time for a bathroom break. So you have to literally run to the toilet.
I think you get about a minute and a half, right?
Yeah, about that. All depends on how much
if you're
liquid you
a
drink.
speedrunner, a true speedrunner, you speedrun life, you're gonna speedrun that bathroom break too. I just don't recommend taking hand washing skip. Please, no.
Oh god. Let's be nice.
Unfortunately, it is
We've all
a
been
known
privy.
and prolific technique.
Troppo tardi. È già iniziato. È già iniziato.
Taylor's a badass, by the way.
Devi aiutarmi. Vai a quella
Yeah, she's pretty awesome.
We'll say it was awesome, but you know.
Well, don't spoil it. What's awesome in about a minute? In about a minute.
I never said in what context. Now you spoiled it by saying that it's a spoiler. Come
She'll
on.
be fine.
You're spoiling the
Yeah, what could
spoiler
possibly
by
go wrong?
suggesting that I was right, not trying to gaslight me. When in doubt, gaslight it out.
Okay,
What
fair
could
enough.
possibly go wrong here? I mean,
Yeah,
it's fine.
absolutely. It's not like this blinding blue lights that's coming out of the reactor.
I
Not
always
at all,
find it
no.
amazing how Taylor's even able to see what's going on.
I know.
She's
Like, we
just
just
that
appreciate
talented.
how like we're looking into the sun right now.
That can cause blindness. She's gonna have like that imprint of like just the bright in her eyes, so she definitely can't see now, surely.
I can't ignore the don't forget the toilet flush skip.
Goodness sake.
Yeah, Inspector Courage. Bro forgot the toilet flush and hand drying skip.
That's the forbidden technique right there.
So now that we've effectively managed to cool down the reactor, it doesn't actually work out as intended. So everything in the Inisidora is now collapsing and exploding and imploding and all the implodings. So we've literally just got to try to leg it out whilst Taylor, 07's in the chat for Taylor, who's basically sacrificing herself to let us escape. Poor Taylor. Poor Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor's not having the best of times today. First she gets kidnapped, and now she's a bit worse for wear.
Yeah, so this exit now, as you can guess from all the right turns, is now a bunch of left turns. Don't be Derek Zoolander trying to get out of here, though.
Oh god, there is actually a Zoolander percent.
Anyone who knows my reference.
There is actually a Zoolander percent that is run of this game, and it literally is you can only turn left.
Oh my goodness.
I forgot about that category.
I think I actually ran that at one point as well, because I was able to use a software called Rewaz to completely nullify the right turnings. So
I hadn't ran it, but yeah, you could set it up with that. So like, you know,
it's more challenging than you think, genuinely.
All
Right,
so this
mission
is
16.
this is the big boy.
This is the
Yep.
mission. We're here.
Yep.
All we can say is good luck to you, Dre. You've got this. And you got this hack.
So we're
Yeah,
finally,
I just straight up, again, clicked wrong.
after keeping the stun baton for so long now, we got it all of about 2 hours ago. We're finally making good use of that. And
Yo, this
these
is where our
stun batons-
31 health, our stun baton charge, and some of our shotgun shells really will shine
Yeah.
for this entire run.
The stun baton's intended purpose, as far as the game's concerned, is to be used against androids to stun them. However, it has a super, super useful thing where if you use it on humans, it just one-shots them.
There's also a peak hiding spot, by the way.
Here we're trying to lure the humans out so we can be a bit safer when trying to zap them. That's a shotgun human, that's not the one we're looking for. That's the revolver human, that's the one we want to zap.
Nice. Oh,
Perfect.
Go up,
stuff.
rampage.
wait, are we playing
usually
Dude
One
now?
more revolver human that will be a threat that will either be directly ahead or to the left.
You don't usually see this in low percent.
Oh, and then I missed the stun. He was exactly in the worst spot where he's guarding the door. Oh man, that's tragic.
So when we mentioned
Guarding
about
the door, but wasn't in range of the flamethrower. He was too locked in.
when we mentioned about the
that's
revolver
unfortunate.
guys being so lethal, that is your visual evidence there. Like the moment they see you, bang. You don't even have time to react. They are ready to pounce, basically.
They are also horrendously accurate. They
Yep.
do not miss their shots often.
Unrealistically accurate.
Yeah.
Abbiamo appena visto saltare in aria una nave a tribordo. Ha fatto fuori un intero stabilizzatore orbitale. Non abbiamo
Yeah, this section absolutely lives up to its name of the hardest section.
possiamo prendere il sopravvivente. Lascio aperto il canale. Passo ai chiusuri.
Che cosa vuoi?
My hands are in my face, just waiting to see if you get this.
Mi possono...
You know, just a decent. I'm just gonna do the jack for this one while it's safe.
Camera angle's a bit wonky there.
Don't throw her out. Let's see here. Do I get a better spawn?
Shotgun human shooting real early.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah,
Just
so
one
the
more
spawns
shotgun
are
human
always
that's actually
different
traveling.
on
He's going
on
crazy.
reloads.
Nicely
Perfect.
done.
Beautiful.
Well done.
I
That's
want
the
to take a
hardest
couple
section
fewer bullets than that. I got shot, what, 4 times from a distance? So
Something
I'm
like that.
probably at 10 health
I
left,
would
if
guess
I'm
you're at
lucky.
about somewhere between 10 and 12%.
Oh,
Be tight. This will be a tight exit, but I did take out both revolver guys, and I did take out the guard on the exit there. So
Those are the main ones to take out. So the exit should now be much, much, much more manageable. Because for those who don't know, we have to go back through all of those humans, which is why we really, really want to take out quite a few of them on our initial pass through. Because that way, on the exit, we just have fewer humans to deal with.
that was not a strategy. I just don't like that camera.
What I would recommend as well is just at the top of the elevator, there's a save point, because there's a very
Yes,
rare
I will be grabbing
bug.
that 100%.
where you can get your camera soft locked on the upcoming minigames. And if that happens, the last thing you want to do is have to go through that section again.
Oh, the soft lock. That's
Yeah.
a good note. Yeah, I might
The-
as
the
well. Might as
marathon
well soft
safety
lock
save.
prevention. Marathon approved. Yup. I was thinking about just my exit.
Oh, no. The exit, I trust you know what you're doing on that, but it's just the soft lock, there's nothing you can do about it.
I mean, you know what I'm doing in Mission 16? That's preposterous. Yeah, we'll do this as a soft lock prevention, nothing more. There are humans up here, but we walk far enough out of their way where they don't really do much other than jump and start shouting. Whoa, right there, jump. Ah, scary, someone's running.
normally when we do other categories, we'll be using a pipe bomb to get rid of them. So that's when we once again come back down into that area, they would all be dead, and it would just be that the xenomorph drops, and that would be the only thing that we worry about. But we got to worry about it, so that'll be fun.
Indeed, we will be doing a riskier strategy instead that does look cooler. But, you know, such is the way of low percent.
Like, my favorite part of a CC run is just this bit here, because in this little observatory, that little handrail, you can crouch clip through that, and it will make you fall and spawn right back down to the door of which you entered in this observatory. Because the observatory actually, I don't think it moves, but it's still the case that you have to go
The
down.
observatory does actually move, but because it moves, it doesn't count as solid ground. And whenever you fall out of bounds, the game tries to teleport you back to the last bit of solid ground you're on.
That's it. Yeah.
Such a weird quirk.
It's fun because you just fall into space. You're like, I'm here now.
Launch yourself into space.
It's another fun quirk as well because I think it was at the beginning of Mission 14. You can actually crouch clip of that moving elevator. But
yeah, you can.
If you don't peek hold to fall and to like cancel out your fall, you'll just literally fall. And this game treats fall damage as instant death as well.
But the fact you can cancel fall damage is kind of cool. I wish Minecraft had that feature.
Yeah, the fact that you can't, like, you're not supposed to jump and you're not supposed to fall, and this game still has fall damage.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting.
It's like the devs knew that people would be glitching their game, maybe.
It doesn't hurt to have fail safes. That's why there's usually like a kill, kill plane in Out of Bounds.
Yeah.
Even though you build a game with the idea of people not getting there, it's still there.
Because you never know when the kind of accidental going out of bounds may happen. Again, game engines are game engines at the end of the day, so... But now we've got the fun walk. This is almost as comparable to Mission 9. We put on a spacesuit. Oh, go ahead.
It's about 8 minutes long, I think.
Yeah,
so we're going over...
this is Auto-Scroller Part 2.
Yeah.
Part 3, maybe, if you consider Mission 2 one of them as well.
So we're going over to the communications antenna to try to recommunicate with the Torrens. We did see the Torrens like way earlier on back in like, I think it was like Mission 2. So now that there's like some kind of range where we can try to communicate, we got to try to set up the antennas to lock in a signal through like certain coordinates to try to get back in touch with the only other person which is on board. And try to escort everybody out scot-free, no worries, everything's fine. As you can imagine, staying in isolation, things won't go that easily or that well, so we will get in touch, but that's about it for the fun part, isn't it?
As is classic horror game antics. This entire time we've just been trying, after we got Taylor the meds, we've just been trying to get off. You have such a big laundry list of things to do just to try to get out. Which, again, it's fun and all, but, like, big picture, ever since we met Axel, we were trying to contact the Torrens and then get off. So we're still on the contact the Torrens part.
Mm-hmm. We do have a question in the chat from Hey I'm Luna that says, does low percent also include NMG/no out of bounds?
Low percent itself doesn't, no. So the way in which the categories work in this game, we have 3 different things that we use to actually describe categories. One is the difficulty, which for speedrunners we either use Nightmare or Novice. Then you have the run type itself, and there are 4 main run types. There's low percent, where you can't pick up any items, 100%, where you pick up all the items, any percent, which is exclusive to the glitchy categories, where you beat the game not worrying about how much you do, you just get to the end. And then finally there's all missions, where you play through the game's missions sequentially in order. And then last but not least, we have the glitch types. So you have no major glitches, you have one called no crouch clipping, which allows you to do crazy glitches such as silent running. You can clip through certain objects, but as long as you don't bind the crouch button to your mouse wheel, so you can press it super fast, anything goes. You then have crouch clipping only, which means you can bind your crouch button to your mouse wheel, and you can rev your mouse wheel, and it will let you go through certain doors. And then finally, there's a category called crouch clipping and FPS toggling, or CCFPS for short. And that's essentially our version of all glitches, where you can do all sorts of crazy things. You have the ability to wrong warp, the ability to fly, the ability to launch yourself horrendously high into the air, and everything goes, and the game becomes very broken.
One of the things that I have not been let off the hook. I like to call CCFPS a lightweight task. Usually you'll use a third-party tool to toggle the FPS like Bandicam or something to otherwise abnormally low values like 7 is the usual number.
I think it's about 5 or 7, yeah.
Yeah, so there are
multiple. It allows you to do some really cool
use.
stuff, don't get me wrong, and so I love how much it breaks, but I guess unless you're playing on a Nintendo Switch, in theory, you shouldn't be seeing the game at 8 FPS at any point.
But it's not really a task because like we are purposefully toggling the FPS
Right, it's
per
not
the
doing
category
it for
rules.
you. I just call it a tool. And
I
that's why
know,
like to
but
call
I'm
it
trying to be like,
no
I'm
one
nerding out
lets
about
me
this. Let
call
me nerd
that,
about it.
So, I'm sorry. I'm gonna geek about it. Pointing to my shirt.
Oh yeah. By the way, nice t-shirt.
Thank you. Did you translate it yet?
I did. Like the chat got it way earlier on as well. Like they were talking about it. I actually went into a binary to text translator and I was like, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I messed up the second E, so go me.
Yes. Oh, dude, I finally got the glitch.
Ooh.
I've been wanting that glitch for all of my Alien Isolation career. I've never once gotten it, and I've literally just gotten it.
So what happened there is there's usually a little animation where you open the thing, pull out the little turn dial, but very, very, very rarely you can just skip the whole animation and just get straight to it.
I wish I knew what I just did. Because I wasn't really thinking about it. I was just going like normal. I've never gotten this because I've always wanted this because it's like, what, like a 6 second, 7 second time save?
It is about 6 seconds,
animate
yeah.
pressing the button and lifting the lever and pull. You just go.
I've actually never seen that before. That was really cool to pull off. Wow.
I've only done it once.
Once from Sullivan.
I feel like I'm the anomaly, and I've had it 3 times total, but not for like a year and a half now.
Just because you're built, like, you're so much better at the game.
No. It's because my PC was so much worse when I started speedrunning, and so all sorts of shenanigans happened on that thing.
So if we got that glitch,
It
we've
changes
got
a lot depending on the hardware you run it on. The better hardware you run it on, generally, the more consistent it becomes. If you're running it on a pretty old PC, you can get some wild things happening.
You do get some weird behavior for sure.
cool.
Man, I got enough to study. I don't have to clip that and like do a slow-mo and then do a live comparison with the only other clip I have of it.
Yeah, that's your second. That's never happened before. Yeah.
I've seen it happen before. It's never happened to me before.
Yeah, no, that's exactly.
just
That has
very
never happened
rare.
to you before. So all we can say is congrats and well played.
Oh, thank you.
Anyway.
God, I
Yeah,
love
so
that.
no running
Tom.
heist, but I did get that crazy one. I
Honestly,
really
out
wanted
of
to go
all
for
of
hugger
the
boost.
really, really rare glitches to get, that's a cool one as well.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So much better than,
I really
like,
did want to
a
go for
rare
hugger
soft
boost in mission
log.
14.
Oh,
for what
gosh,
it's
no.
worth.
Man, all
Because
we need
I
now
got
is to...
14 hugger boosts for the first time in my alien career while practicing for this category as well. So this has been a very interesting learning experience.
All we need now is the mission 18 cutscene skip. And this will
Yeah,
be
right.
perfect.
Double huggers into cutscene skip, all the good
Yeah.
stuff.
Ignore mission 11. This run is perfect.
All right, finally coming towards the end of this. Like again, that lovely 8 minutes of just walking has been bittersweet. Also, if you look up here in a second, I'm sure Dre will pan the camera in a moment.
Right about there, maybe?
Yeah, we should actually see. There it is, the xenomorph, the one. I think that's the one that was ejected from the KG, right?
I don't think it's ever
I do not
confirmed.
know
I
if
don't
that's
know.
the intended lore, to be totally honest. But very well could
I'm
be.
guessing here. But either way, the xenomorph was on the outside of Sevastopol and manages to find a sneaky way to get back inside. Whilst we thought that the threat might have been gone, nope, it's back.
They're too invincible. Yeah, they're just that passionate about giving us attention.
Also,
I was
safety
gonna
safe
make-
reminder.
I was going to make a
really
proper
endearing.
musical reference there, and I was going to say it was too unlimited. And then I just threw myself back so much.
This is one of these safety saves
Unfortunately,
we
a much
love to
needed
take
safety
because,
save here.
goodness me, we don't want to do spacewalk again.
Yeah, this is that is the, like, if you're doing a run, you're trying to push a world record, that is the last safety save I will pull out of my run.
Yeah.
It is very easy to die in this little bit, especially on a low percent run. So, safety save, just do it. Just do it.
There is zero shame in that safety save.
All right, here we go. This is where the fun begins. The real fun.
So here comes the extra crazy strat, which I love this strat, but I love it most when I get it first try and it makes me look really cool. Or Heidi's
that's an
gonna shoot
angle.
me because her position was
Goodness me.
absurd.
Oh my
Well,
god.
all right, that's why we take the safety save. I haven't seen her in that position before. That was crazy hamburger.
Shut up.
It was just crazy, dude. It was crazy with a bit of beef in it.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. At least it wasn't just a phrase and it was actual context and actual actual beef.
Because Heidi has beef with me or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there are 3 humans up here. 2 with revolvers, 1 with the shotgun. But because we're so low on health, we really have to try and avoid damage. And so as you see, it's any damage is just so brutal.
God, every time it's so nerve-wracking. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Use the shotgun
Nice
shell.
thing about having extra shotgun shells is I
Yeah.
didn't have to use fuel there. All I
Whoa.
needed to do was get to the button safely, but it was a bit of a scary one.
See, I always forget for the low percent, you just run past the xenomorph and every time it's just like, oh, my heart.
Yeah, you just have to be committed to knowing that he's targeting the other human. That's why I love that strat, because it looks so cool if you get it first try.
Here we're waiting for a sound cue. We're waiting for the hiss of the alien.
On cue, nice.
Or he's gonna run anyway.
It's unlucky.
Weird,
good job.
Steve. I probably reloaded too many times.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Worst comes to worst,
Well,
we can
I
just
did the really cool
Right,
thing and then
okay.
I did the really goober thing. So I guess it balances out.
like as an absolute last resort, we could alt in F4, but again, that just is going to be too much time to have to reload the game and do the stuff. So we just jump straight back in.
Should be fine the third try, right?
Yeah, sure.
Watch me get stuck in the cursed loop here. Yeah, that was a spot I really wasn't expecting to reload because I was just before my safety save too.
Hey Dre, Texas Ty is saying, is your heart doki doki right now?
You know, actually, I'm kind of chill. It was one of those like this is just unfortunate.
Oh no!
Too early, man. I wasn't listening well enough. Dang it. It's that I reset in a silly spot. I'm bound to do something else wrong. Mission succeed, the curse. But as I always say, the 4th time's the charm.
Yeah, so what's supposed to happen is the noise is supposed to attack Steve, and then he switches to attack the human over there for whatever reason. I'm not actually sure how this works fully, because I haven't done it many times, but he's supposed to lock on to the human, which is why Drake's left so early and was going to attempt
The
to run
earlier I
past him.
go, the more distance I get. There we go.
Yeah, like that.
And he walked towards the human that time too, so that's also better for my luck.
Nice.
Okay. That was
Nice,
weird.
perfect. He went for another human.
Just standing there, just, you know.
Just standing there.
Menacing.
Menacingly, you took it out of my mouth, man.
Yeah, so for
So
this next
you'd,
section, what we
yeah.
want to do is we want to run and essentially get the alien to actually notice us. But as soon as he hisses as a result of our running, that's when we start walking. And that gives us just enough time to actually get out of his range. There you go, you should be able to run now.
As much as I feel confident with that, I might as well just get to the
Just
safety
banking it.
save.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Good
The
stuff.
safely... Oh, what was the word? I totally just goofed that. The safely acquired safety save. Oh yeah, I forgot. I don't actually want to hit that yet. Because I don't have a guy in the way.
The alien can
Abbreviated-
drop on the exit. Ideally, we won't have to flame it. Sometimes you're just forced to.
Check one cosa.
Ooh.
Oh, no, I
no.
man dabbed on the fire! Bro! I didn't need to hit the human after all, but
If you're hitting the dab, you want to hit the gritty as well, man. Oh, we got it. Come on, let's go.
oh yeah, this guy right here is the whole reason. Ooh.
Ooh, you're alive.
And we have Steve in the right spot. So we can probably save more fuel as well.
He is chasing.
Yup.
Is that enough?
Yeah, you got time.
We're fine.
Well done.
Oh
Okay,
my
so
god.
a not extremely bad mission 16. Definitely could have been better. I goofed twice on that exit there, but it's so easy to get nervous about that exit.
Here, the alien
cool
starts
shot.
so far out of the way that we have just enough time to go up and shotgun the human. Hopefully the alien won't drop.
I'm
would've
feeling pretty good with
dropped
that one. He got a
promising.
nice shot right away.
And so now we want to slow play it. Given the alien is directly above our head, we really can't spare the resources to deal with the alien at this point. We need resources for the rest of the game. And so we're just going to slow play it.
The notorious hallway of doom is coming up, and that's gonna burn probably quite a bit of fuel.
It'll burn a lot, yeah. Lots of scripted sequences, lots of times where we're forced into conflict with the alien.
At least we get a bit of a breather after how intense that last mission was, so...
Well, once we get the human out of the way here, this becomes a bit of a breather, yeah.
Absolutely.
So here the plan is to save and reload, essentially to reset the alien into its really far away spawn. It can occasionally just respawn directly above us, but then we'll just immediately reload again. But this should give us enough time to run straight to the facehugger, which is behind this door, and then flame it. We can
Tragically,
wrench
do
it
have to use
if
a
we have the help.
flamethrower, not a cool weapon.
Oh.
Because shooting with the weapons, the blood acid splashes on you and it does damage. And I got a bad door there as well. That's not help.
However, you do have very good Steve RNG, and so he shouldn't drop now.
Didn't even hear a
Good
beep.
Steve.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
I
that's
conserved more fuel
fantastic.
than I expected from 16. So we're still at 319.
319 at this point is very, very good.
Now, this would be a
Steve's
great time,
on
opportunity for
holiday.
looting and crafting, but about that. And 3 shotty shells too, man.
Nice.
Yeah, having 3 left
Oh,
is really,
dude,
really
the
useful
loot.
for the exit.
I say good loot like I had good drops.
Right, so in this whole mission here is that like we are trying to get to a point where we're going through the penthouse area of Sebastopol basically to try to get back to the spaceflight terminal so we can go onto the tow platform for which we can try to dock the Torrens onto Sebastopol and leave without any kind of worries, like everything's fine again. But I keep on saying this, but Alien Isolation, it's never going to go right. So we'll find out when it gets towards like around mission 18 what entirely happens. But in the meantime, we're going to be coming up to another kind of dicey area in a moment. As we mentioned, it's the hallway of doom. I'm sure we can have some fun in this bit here, because normally we'll be using like a Molotov instead of our flamethrower fuel, and obviously because we have a lot of flamethrower fuel, it's going to make it a little bit nicer, but we're going to see how this pans out anyway. What are you doing, Dre?
Well, it is technically possible to clip this save point. I want to see if I could show off the
I thought you were just
prompts,
jamming there
if
for
I
a
get
second, just like grooving about
I
or
know.
something.
I was looking for it. It is such a minor time save in the categories that allow that clip that we don't ever train it. So it's not a clip position I've actually learned, but
Just to quickly answer Pajaro Felis's comments, how do you know how much your health your character has? It's all through mathematics and understanding how much damage we've taken and calculating it that way.
Part of it's also guesswork when it comes to various things like shotgun shots, because we can't be certain. There are damage ranges depending on distance, and we can't be certain how much damage we've actually taken, so some of it really is just our best guess. For example, now we kind of assume we're we're sub 5%. It's given the shotgun shots we took, it's unlikely that we have much more than that. So we have to be really careful at this point not to take fire damage. Fire's everywhere, and fire deals about 1.5% of your health every tick. So a couple ticks of that and we just fall over.
Nice. Okay, so that drop is on the other side, so that we can go through this area as silently with the crowd chopping, so that we can gas torch this lever and go through to more Hallway of Doom.
It means the radio lure works.
Yes, so
absolutely.
The radio works as essentially a noisemaker, and as we don't have any noisemakers, having a makeshift one is very valuable.
All right, good luck in this section, Dre. You've got this.
All right, so your recommendation is that I safety save after I've hit that face arc.
Yes.
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 All right. But chance it. Trusted you guys.
Yeah, so that beep is perfect. That's what we would expect.
We're also going to be doing a PC exclusive strategy, which requires like basically a high frames per second, so that we can flame the xenomorph a certain amount of times, so that we can then, it goes into a state of trying to go back up to the
I would
vents.
play the save.
Yo, I like to bring him out. I feel like I wait for him just a little bit less.
What we're going to do here is we're going to run to the save station and just chill by it. We're not actually going to take the save, but we're going to wait, and this gives us enough time so that we can let the alien actually up-vent.
I will do the save there just for good.
Yeah,
I probably could have topped with that. I could have probably could have waited at the vent room, but I just wasn't confident that I wouldn't get this drop.
I'll explain the strategy again in a second, and when we're actually doing it. We're getting very close anyway. Right, so here we're going to try to go forwards, try to flame the xenomorph quite a few times, which will put it into a state where it wants to go up the vents. In that space of time, we can actually just pull on the lever. The xenomorph won't trigger at us at all, and we can just run scot-free. So it's a very, very nice PC exclusive glitch, and it's one that's so satisfying to pull off when you do it right.
I want to make sure he doesn't drop here.
Yeah.
Yep, he won't drop, so I'm gonna good pattern.
Listening pretty closely here as well, just trying to make sure. See if I hear thumping, see if I hear boops on the tracker where I don't expect boops. This drop is the one that can be a little shady on the egg.
So if we're gonna die anywhere, it would be here.
Yeah. This drop can be really nasty.
Yep, it could be right here. Yep.
Perfect.
Nice.
He'll drop shortly after, and this is where we expect to flame him.
Just go.
No.
Oh.
Press the button.
What? What?
I'm sorry?
Oh my
Flamethrower
god.
just decided not to work? That's a little tough.
This is a semi-rule we have when it comes to the game. He will be in the corridor now, and you will have to flame him.
Oh, dang it.
You can
Well, that
get
was
away with the
weird.
shotgun shot. If you can nail the shotgun shot, that will save fuel, which is really good.
That wasn't the plan. I thought I used the shotgun, and then for some reason.
Yeah, I've never seen that before. That was wild.
I swear,
Yeah,
it's
there's
like
somewhat
the
of a
hardest
rule.
shotgun shot in the game. He likes to flinch left just a little bit.
We've got a saying, especially in Novice, but sometimes it can apply to Nightmare as well, of don't turn your back on Steve, because if you turn your back on him, sometimes he just cheats. And he will just
Yeah, that
simply
was a
teleport.
serious cheater moment for sure. All right, I'm gonna just line this up a little bit. Oh, actually, he's waiting it out this end.
Nice.
Well done.
Okay.
And once we get
Yeah,
past
so-
Not
It's
supposed to be that bad of a shot,
corridor,
but because shooting the alien, as you saw in 14, is pretty easy, except for that guy in that tunnel right there, for some reason. I'm gonna
Yeah,
learn
we
from my
have the
mistakes and
scripted
actually hit
sequence
the
again.
safety save this time. Because I meant to grab this one on the way out and then totally just was a last minute route change.
You just locked into a world record run that. All right.
might drop her.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a.
Oh my god.
I heard the drop and everything. I just.
I won't lie,
Straight up.
I just got major jump scared there.
It still does it to the best of us.
I know. Speedrunners still get scared of this game. That's how good this game is. Run it.
No drop this time. Or he'll drop behind me.
You'll have to blame
That was a
that.
mistake. Oh, that was really a mistake. That's a lot of fuel.
Yeah.
And
Again,
he
if you
didn't
got-
vent. Oh, he did. Okay.
Oh, he did, okay.
Thankfully, we got a vent. This actually might be a pretty good exit now because
This
of that.
exit's going to be chaotic.
I don't know.
I said might. I did say might. Keyword is might.
Keyword
lock
is he's gonna drop somewhere.
There. Nice.
Okay. We're doing this risky way because the safe way didn't save me anyway.
You will need
Yeah,
to
so
blame him at some point.
When
However,
you're
like,
not looking
laying
at
up-
Steve, his pathing is really good. But when you're looking in his direction,
Okay.
Vent.
He should vent. Perfect.
Yes.
Now we just
right.
hold dearly to the striker. Don't drop in here.
He shouldn't drop here.
He moved straight left, man.
I
That
know.
was not fair.
He can drop in this vent, and on low percent, that's a death sentence because he takes so much fuel.
It really does. Yeah, he's like more resilient in the vent or something.
As soon as
That was
mission
That's gonna be a
17.
Yep,
spicy-
got mission
Usually at this
18.
point, you're kind of out of the main danger of mission 17. Because our health is so low on low percent, we have one extra danger, which is fire. Fire can very, very
109.
easily.
This is the lowest fuel
pick you
I've
up.
been at for this section because that was the most chaotic 17 I've had in my
Yeah.
compared to my practice. So I'm still gonna go for risky 18 first. Just because that's the one that I practiced, and trying to improv a safe strat might not be any safe.
You got enough fuel for doing it?
I hope so.
How much are we on?
109.
109's fine with the safe trap, so we can always back up if needed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we can do it with a backup for sure, but and worst case scenario, even though this is our showcase a low percent. If I do get the run in a bit of a soft lock state here with low fuel, there are fuel spawns. We could bend it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Nah,
not
you'll be
resort to that
fine.
unless absolutely necessary, but
You won't need the fuel.
For the sake of the marathon.
If
it
you can
has to
avoid
happen,
using
it has to be
fuel
as possible.
until like after the, ideally you'd avoid using fuel until the huggers, and in that case you're comfortable. So we can run at the beginning here because the alien's not actually active until this dialogue is finished. So it gives us a brief window where we can just run safely. But now the alien is way, way, way on top of us. And so we have to be very careful. We simply don't have the resources to deal with it at the moment.
By the way, nice spin on the vent there. That was cool.
Thank you. I saw it was pulling me when I didn't want it to, so. All right, here's the part where you guys gonna hit me.
Ooh.
Sends a shiver down my spine doing that, man. Because I like any other category, we do not do that. So
Oh.
it's
It's
this.
a newer tech I've seen in No Major Glitches.
Okay. To be fair, I haven't seen some of the new tech, so
The nice thing is, if we're lucky, I should be able to get a 2 burst here and not have to save later on. But I'm not going to flame this droid because I don't have that fuel to spare. Sometimes I do. Not this time.
Verleni, i cacci per l'attracco sono attivati.
Oh, that's not intended.
shotgun.
Nah, that's a not good.
If you can make
you
it up to
get
the saving time,
extremely
maybe.
lucky,
Yeah,
you
my
can do
plan
this
without-
is to save load if I can.
That's going to be
I'm not
close
sure I've
as
got
anything.
time.
Oh
Oh,
no!
that's not even fair. Oh, man. So that's not what that flow is usually supposed to look like anyway. I'm just going to chalk it up to I got unlucky Steves again. So we'll take at least one more shot at this this crazy routing.
Sono qui.
Because in theory, that was looking really good.
No, yeah. Steve likes to be Steve, as per usual. Let's see if you get the spin again. Ah,
The timing I was usually going for was just the... It opens as I'm falling into it, but... Okay, so yeah, in theory, this is a really cool strat. For me, I find it to be pretty consistent, so I'm a little bummed I had a totally wild Steve there. I'm not quite sure what to make of that one. You don't want to stay crouched out here. Grab this terminal while you're crouched. Even though it animates you stand up, internally you're still short, so you're out of the line of sight. And then he's walking that way. That's perfect. Those were really crispy bursts. This should be what we need if all is going well. I just have to not walk under a vent because it's very easy to walk under vents in this mission as well, like that one. And then the one right at the top of the stairs as well.
Yep.
There are a large number of vents in this area compared to quite a few other missions as well. So many that you can accidentally just
there's the spit.
Oh no.
Lucky he up vents.
Oh.
Nice.
Nice.
I thought he was going to drop and get you there. Goddamn.
Activate here, and now we should be safe for a save.
I would recommend a save, yeah.
Yeah. Don't even think about it. Just do it.
Part of the
Alright.
yeah, the save load sometimes helps. Okay, there we go. That's all I needed.
Good.
Do I have a shotgun shell left? I think I do.
The shotgun shot there buffers the alien essentially. Even though it does the falling animation, it still takes the recoil of the shotgun
Oh my
shot.
gosh, and then I boofed the last strat, man.
Steven,
It's
you
all
don't play
these little
nice.
bits of the run. I'm definitely rustiest at the end. At the end of the game. That was such a silly goof. Oh my, and then I forgot I was out of shells. I'm totally not locked in. That's totally on me right there.
You might be able to get the hands up there at the end.
Yep, I think I could have done hands again. I panicked because I wasn't ready for that cycle. That's unfortunately one that just comes from a bit of a lack of practice in this cat.
Well, both
Now,
after
if
you.
all goes well.
Should be able to keep this going. Well done.
Oh
no!
Dude, I totally, I flinched.
So lucky.
I swear
That's
this went
very
better in
unfortunate.
practice.
So as you can
We're
see
right
there,
at the end
that
here.
really highlights just how the alien can somewhat cheat, because he was not in range of a kill at that moment, but he will just super speed and just grab you.
Okay, here we go.
Oh.
Tough. Nice,
Nice.
well
As
done.
soon as you
Really
press
well
the
done.
button, they despawn.
Cool.
So that's what I was going for last time, was just need to hit the button, we're safe, and I guess that timing just barely wrong.
I was really worried about that because like he was really training up behind you, like super close.
Yeah, it's extremely close.
So the usual flow there that I'm more used to is hit the guy up top, right? Usually the regular emergency gives you plenty of fuel. So hit the guy at top, triple burst, he vents right away. Then the guy coming to the door, shotgun shell, he'll go away. And then the guy who was running after us, then we can flinch with a flamethrower right in front of it. And it's just all the timing just works out very consistently. Unfortunately, that was one where my lack of practice on low percent of the mission was very apparent. It's okay in the end of the day, but definitely not my cleanest run there. At least I can show off the cool strat, but would have loved to show it off with a bit better execution. But we made it. We got through it.
Into the
What can I
last little
say?
gauntlet now.
This is technically the last mission because there is one more mission after this, but
How much fuel do we have?
good
I
question.
should still be at about 80. I can peek right here. 75, 76.
Okay, that should be
Okay.
good
Yeah, I can
enough.
go for double huggers, easy.
Health might be the issue. Oh, that's a cut out of huggers.
Until
goodness.
I get totally the wrong pattern.
Yeah, we are on such low health that fire damage is really dangerous here.
Oh, well, there we go then.
I just wasn't locked in. I just wasn't locked in.
So as you can see, when a hugger grabs you from behind, when we're in a crawl space, we launch forwards, and this is a trick called a hugger boost. It's really, really cool right at the end of the run. Very, very
Guess I can
difficult.
go for it again. This is the cool side of it. Never mind, I can't because I had bad huggers twice in a row. Okay, I'll get this hugger boost normally this time.
That's a delayed hugger. Goodness.
Nice.
Good
really
reaction.
late. It was a bit of a precarious one because of that.
You've got plenty of revolve bullets. Use a bullet here as a cutscene skip.
My problem is I tend to mess up this bullet shot.
Just mash it.
Yeah,
Literally
just mash
during
because
the cutscene. Mash it.
After.
Here, just mash it.
Don't mind me. That was just straight up my finger slipped.
Perfect.
Whoa, my finger slipped.
Yeah, you've got so many revolver bullets.
Just got to be careful now for acid splashback, so make sure you're shooting from a good distance for the next two huggers.
Yep, so I've got one more flamethrower burst, probably.
How much fuel are you on?
2 if I really, really do it just right. And then I'll have to shotgun shell my last. Oh no, I'm out of shotgun shells. I got a revolver bullet. Yep, I just remembered that part.
Yeah, if you've got 50 in fuel, you can 2 burst, but it's really tight.
All right, so watch out. There's a tram here.
Fammi solo uscire viva da qui.
Now I gotta go long to miss the fire.
We do a little fun
We can
little
skip that tram.
Yeah, it's very small skip there, which is that you can just walk on the platform there and skip having to have the train go over you. So we're skipping one animation basically, which is a lovely, lovely like time save, as you can see right here. And this,
then the last one also gets us.
and this can be a little bit of a run killer for some people, actually, especially in certain categories where it's like an any percent and you only get a certain amount of loot, for example. The way that these two huggers come out is RNG. It's either that they're close together or they're far apart. So let's see what happens.
I totally had the wrong weapon out.
Oh, no.
I don't even know how that happened. After I reload, I'm just like the game. After I reload enough saves, my brain just totally shuts off.
That's fine. It's fine.
You've got this.
End game
This is usually pretty free. My friend Flipsy, I know, lost a good run this part. So this is the speedrunner technique, because I like to walk long, hold the flamethrower out, and then they die in different sections that don't body block each other. Now, in theory, this part here should be a... Come on. I missed the clip. Dang it.
Just do it normally.
Right,
just
well, we gotta do the boring way.
So this is our third and final bit of scripted damage. Fortunately, however, it sets our health to 40%. So regardless of what our health was previously, we now have 40%. We have all the health in the world as far as we're concerned in low percent.
We have more health now than we did for most of the run.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And so we do not need to worry about fire anymore. This is essentially the last grand hurrah. Pretty much done with the run now. However,
so yeah, in theory, the only way I lose the run now is the game bugs out.
Yeah. Well, don't jinx it, man.
You can die here. One with the game bugging out, and the second, once we go up this next little elevator, if you take too long, the game actually just strikes you with a meteor and kills you.
True. You can still lose, but for all intents and purposes.
I actually didn't know that. That really?
Be good.
Yeah, so
yeah, you spend like a minute and a half on this platform up here.
Someone showed me a clip of someone dying to us in a casual run through. They were just saying like, I've never seen this, and I was like, okay, let's do some science on it. And yeah, I found out that if you spend about 2 minutes on this platform, you just get struck by a meteor. Instant death. It's very, very funny.
I'm gonna need to do that myself because I've never heard about it until just now. Wow. So when this game is out to get you, it just gets you at the end, okay?
Saves here.
It really is, yo. It's like, you weren't fast enough, you're dilly-dallying.
You haven't become a speedrunner yet!
Yeah, right.
But yeah, from about here is about 5 minutes before, let's say about 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes before the game ends, so this is literally...
We have known time from that button.
Yeah.
The only place you really lose time is your movement, which is, hundreds of milliseconds ideally at most. And then if you miss double pins. So, got double pins coming up. It's another one of those glitches that isn't that hard, but when you're nervous at the end of a run, it's very hard.
Fun fact, I've done double pins on a DSLR camera with this, so it's so fun to do. So I turned an actual Canon 5D Mark III into a game controller, so I had to use gyroscope on the bottom of the camera to be able to like quickly throw the camera to be able to. What we actually have to do here is we have to hover on the edge of one of the pins and then press E, throw a mouse over to the other side and spam E so that we can basically activate 2 pins at the same time. And it saves about 15 seconds per pin, per double pins basically. And it's the nice last like minor glitch that you pull off basically.
It's always one of those stressful
This is when I'm
parts of
talking
the
about
run
that glitch
because-
I did mission 2 that's technically not allowed, and I say that it should be allowed by all reasons of another glitch being allowed. This is that glitch. The fact this is allowed is why I think the one in mission 2 should be allowed. And I will take it to the grave, I swear.
As this is right at the very, very end of the run, even though for most speedrunners who have done this a couple of times, this isn't a difficult glitch to do. However, because it is so much time loss if you miss it, it's so stressful, and it means that you can't really take a sigh of relief until after this.
Yep. And then not even then, because you could lose 8.4 seconds, couldn't you?
Exactly. And the very, very last mission of the game, which we'll see just shortly, there is
It's all
just about
skill.
9
No
seconds
randomness whatsoever.
of RNG.
All skill on that last one.
Yep, all skill. Which is why it's aptly named a skill walk, because
Skill walk.
yep, if you get it, basically you kind of go a little bit outside of your body, and instead of the slow walk that you'd normally get, you'd get like a bit more of a casual walk, and that casual walk can save about 8.2 to 8.4 seconds. And honestly, if you're on a world record pace and you're going against your splits, that could be the world records gone because of the skill walk.
Got glitchy double pins on the last time. Which is really cool.
Nice.
There we go. Double pins. The requirement is that if you get double pins, you have to flex a bicep.
Now, Dre, you know the rule. If you don't get fast walk, the rule is that you've got your whole nother run. So
I'm sorry, I could not hear you over the game there for that moment. If I don't get fast walk, I just reset the run, right?
yeah, exactly. Just quickly do another one.
Okay,
you know,
yeah,
it's
for mission
it's
one,
a short
right? It's
run,
not
right?
like-
Yeah, Church has got time. We could do like another 3 hours. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm good for that.
All right, are we going to get it?
Fingers crossed.
Skill
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, let's
Very, very
go!
So you might notice I talked about the game we're using areas. This area should look very familiar as well. This is the Mission 1 area. This game is literally built like an IKEA.
Oh my god. You saved the best pun for last. I love that, man.
That was a really
Okay, at the very end, the only inputs we have to do is like back, left, right, A, B, star, whatever it is, the Konami code, and then
Yeah,
time is
just
going to
wait
be.
till you look left and then go.
Konami
Like,
code.
Time will be.
oh yeah, time is now.
Well
Almost
done.
called
Well done.
GG, my friends.
GG.
Sweet. Well, 320 real time for category I learned in about 6 days. I'm pretty
Honestly,
proud
very
of that.
respectable. Considering some of the nonsense that got thrown at you as well. Really,
Yeah,
really well
yeah,
done.
for real.
This was
Oh,
so
thank
fun.
Yeah, this is absolutely a blast.
I'm glad I could show off the wildest, maybe not the wildest, one of the wildest corners of the Alien run. I promise the game doesn't have to be quite this chaotic. Regular gameplay, you can use not nightmare mode just so you can see your health, and then also you can grab loot if you want to sometimes. So that's kind of a crazy way to change the game up. This is Ripley. And yeah, I suppose thanks are in order. Again, all three of my friends here, Nico, Hart, James, and Zeb, absolute legends. They're all living out in Europe, so it's about 7 a.m. for them right now.
Yep, 6:41 a.m. It's time to
Yeah,
bed soon.
6:41. If I did my job right, they don't see daylight. Like, can I finish Alien before they see the sun?
You know what? I'm time to open my curtains. Let's have a look, see.
I can confirm it is still dark outside.
Yep, still dark.
Nice! We done it! It's still nighttime. But yeah, no, huge thanks to them for sacrificing their sleep schedules just to hang out here with me tonight. And again, like I said, they are here to guarantee that you guys had an entertaining experience despite my skill issue, and I think they definitely did that. So huge shout outs to them. Definitely want some fun creators to follow. If you want to see more Alien stuff, go check out Nico Hart, Sneaky James, and Zeb XEB. Absolute legends. thank you guys again.
Thank you so much for inviting us, man. It's been an absolute pleasure and joy.
Been a really, really enjoyable run. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for having us on.
Yeah, I'm so glad you guys could join.
Yeah, and thank you all so much for being on. This is such a great game, a great speedrun, and it's awesome to have you all on to showcase the run. Thank you so much for learning this in a week. You did very well for only having, 6 days to learn this, especially with everything this game can throw at you.
Oh, for real, yeah. And in this category, it's, no loot RNG to worry about, but all the manipulations can totally throw things awry. So
yeah. Does anybody have any final thoughts they want to give?
No, I'm pretty
I'm
cool.
good.
Like, Dre killed it. It was an amazing run. Yeah, congrats, mate. Congrats.
Thank you. And also, I forgot the most important thing. So thanks to GDQ for having me. It is always an honor to be here. So glad I can show off something that I love to so many people at once. It is an experience I never, I don't know, that just kind of makes life special to me. So thank you guys so much.
Yeah, and make sure you give everybody here a follow. Absolutely great speedrunners, all of them. Thank you all so much for being here. Appreciate y'all being on. With that said, we do not have anything else for you tonight. Make sure you stay tuned if you have missed out on any of today's shows. We're going to replay them after this. And you can tune in tomorrow for our next live show, which is going to be Oops All Fishing at 7 p.m. Eastern. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for dropping by.